The red sun rose this morning. Dark skies pronounce your warning. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Hold on, the floor is caving. Your walls turn into cages. Your refuge will be your demise. Dances with the devil. Your power isn't special. We don't fit on your canvas. We burn it all to ashes now. 'Cause we are the outlaws.
Yeah, you've been dancing with the devil. Be careful who you gunning for, cause when it settles, it's only pain and grief when you living lawless. We only chase it if the chance of profit's flawless. We keep our eyes on the weak, they know that they targets. Hunting for goodwill, we ain't looking for bargains. And you should say a prayer, ain't nobody praying for you. Cause if I want it, then it's mine, that's what I'm saying to you. If you faint hearted, you better leave. You try and cross me, then you dead to me. Cause I'm in the business of making enemies. And there's a good chance that you may never leave. You feeling comfortable, you should never be. Cause I'm bringing pain if we should ever meet. Tonight you should really find a lifeline. Outlaws come alive in the nighttime.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining tonight's show of Club Exhale. Just some thoughts and words we want to give and shout outs. Today, we're going to gather not to mourn, but to celebrate the life of a legend, of a man who was far more than just a musician. Tonight's episode is dedicated to Ozzy Osborne. He was a force of nature, a voice roared louder than chaos around him, a spirit who transformed darkness into the anthem for millions. From haunting riffs of Black Sabbath to the soaring energy of Crazy Train, Ozzy didn't just create music. He created a world where the misfits, the dreamers, or the restless could belong. For decades, his songs became the soundtrack to stadiums, locker rooms, and lives. His voice echoed through the arenas and NFL stadiums, hyping players, fans alike, providing the heavy metal could fuel the biggest stages in the world. But beyond the music, Ozzy's life was about resilience. Through his battles and through triumphs, he showed up that even in the face of pain, art, laughter, and defense can keep that flame burning. That being said, this is Club Exhale.
Don't know what you want, I need to know. Don't pick up the phone when I try to call. Tell me what is wrong, oh, what is right, what is right. 'Cause now it's too late, too late, There's no going back for you and I. Cause now it's too late, no, too late, no, too late, no, too late, no, now it's too late, no, too late, no, too late, no, too late, no, now it's too late. Now it's too late.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Brand new episode of Club Exhale. And as you heard, this episode is dedicated to the legend Ozzy Osborne, who's not only just an influence in music, rock and roll, right? Mayhem, the Prince of Darkness, as they used to call him, right? He was an influence to the NFL, believe it or not. Massive influence. You know, Ozzy Osborne influenced the NFL goes beyond the music career. He helped define the sound and energy of the league. His 1986 Crazy Train became one of the NFL's most iconic stadium anthems, and is still today. With its All Aboard intro, the driving riff, blasting during kickoffs, defensive stands, even player introductions. It still is today. It doesn't matter if it's NFL or even in college football. That song is one of the most iconic songs, right? You hear it in stadiums like the Steelers Stadium, Cowboys Stadium, the Green Bay Packers, even our stadium alone, you hear his music being played, right? So shout out to the legend, right? You know, and there's some things just to kind of get an idea, right? Not only did it become a main stand, right? Let's not forget, he had one of the, probably in my opinion, one of the best halftime shows a week one has ever seen at SoFi Stadium in 2022. In fact, that was the first time that he performed in the States in a long time, very long time. But ultimately, not only did he was entertaining to the fans, but he basically shaped the NFL's broadcast for both in-game and post and pre-game for what we know today, what the NFL has become. So with that being said, you're going to hear a lot more rock music tonight. It's going to be fun. I got the boys in the back. I'm about to bring them up. Yes, we're going to be dropping the link. We got a lot to talk about. We got training camp to talk about. We got some breaking weird news. If you understand and if you know what I'm talking about, right? We also got a lot of information on at training camp. I got my notes. We got players that we signed. There's some players that you might not like what I have to say. You may not like the fact that I'm going to tell you that some of these players need to go, and we might get into some arguments or debates. It's going to be a hot night. I cannot wait. Let's go. I'm going to bring the guys up. I got Color. I got El Capitan himself. Tonk, how you guys doing?
What up? Hey, yeah, Azie, cultural icon, shaped the youth of the 90s, 80s, 2000s. I mean, for several decades, Azie shaped the youth. I've gone to many Oz fests, and it was fun. Young El Capitan.
Bro, without Azie, there's no Oz Fest.
Listen, young El Capitan was going to Oz fests, mosh pitting for hours on end, partying, the whole nines. Diehard fan of the music genre.
But I also think it was quite right what you said about, making a place in this world for those introverts and you know the cutters of the world and the like all these, you know what I mean? Easy. Like it's
listen,
I
need it. Listen, Ozzy almost
in a part of our society that people could be like comfortable being that kind of person.
Because of Ozzy, there was places in the world for guys like Marilyn Manson, and without this path made, we would never have hot goth chicks like we got.
Exactly,
and that's something the world would have been lesser than.
And you say Ozfest,
and that's the
facts.
Know
what? We wouldn't have had Lollapalooza without guys like Ozzy Osbourne, bro.
Yeah, dude, you wouldn't have the Juggalos with the ICP. We would have no Juggalos in this world.
He was so iconic. He basically enabled an entire culture, the Gothic culture, to be mainstream.
That's it.
You know,
and that kid over there that likes heavy metal and his long hair and whatever, he's just a person too, and it just likes these things. It's kind of like what guys in the really big names in the rap community kind of did for people. In that culture, like, hey, it's acceptable you could still work as in these certain environments as businessmen, even with like tattoos and whatever else, and people somebody might see I mean, remember when we were kids, a earring was a little racy. It was like, oh, a dude wearing an earring, you know what I mean? Now it's like,
I don't know. I had gauges when I was 17.
Wearing nose rings and lip rings, and it's like they're making millions of dollars, and making world, big time business deals and whatever else.
I had gauges for years. I don't have no more.
You're every bit at the boardroom. You're every bit as likely to sit across somebody with a hole in their ear.
I got to be honest. I put a T-shirt on. You don't see my tattoos. I like to keep motherfuckers guessing, dog. I don't need you to know all that about me. But that's my prerogative, right? That's how I look at things.
Listen, everyone, do me a favor. In honor of Ozzy Osbourne, hit the effing like button, right? Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Turn on notification bell. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We always have the famous Banana Hana. Bihana up here. We got Lupak. How you doing, sir? He says, shout out to the entire Finn's Tailgate. Salute to everyone. Well, salute to you, sir. Mystic. What is up, Mystic? I'm going to be dropping the link. Come on through. Marino's Goat. As always, salute to you. Bulldog. I got my boy Bulldog up in here. He's my best friend. So shout out to him.
What up, Bulldog?
Demon alcohol. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then you got Scotty Joe. How you doing, sir? We got 64 people watching across all platforms. Come over to the YouTube, join the chat. I'm going to be dropping the link. It's going to be a lot of fun. So how's everybody doing?
Lot to talk about, bro. Lot to talk about. There's I didn't go live Thursday like I wanted to. There was a lot to talk about Thursday. 2 days later, now here's Saturday night. We're backed up, man. We've had camp. We've got a beef potentially brewing. People are wondering, Tua had words to say about Tyreek and this accountability that he's holding him.
The clown fest the clown fest has started. The Vision Miami efficiency, they're already making their moves.
I got something to say.
They're already setting the standard. They're already setting the standard. They're setting the standard for the season.
They're laying down the groundwork
for the season.
I break you guys apart, but I got some things to say on that based on what I've been watching and stuff. I got some things to say about that, so we'll definitely get to that. Let's get to the sweet before we get to the salty. Let's get to the sweet first, right?
Oh, okay, right. We're doing Sour Patch tonight, boys. Go ahead, Ollie.
We'll get to the sweet.
Sour Patch.
So the sweet is, we saw, what was it, yesterday? They teased out the new Rivals jersey. That was cool. On August 28th. We got a new teaser today. I don't know if you guys saw the new teaser today. The new teaser has the players seeing it for the first time. And if they're as excited for it as I am, then it better be damn something good. Should be really, really good. And
I'll be right back because I'm gonna go grab a hat and dust off this old hat, because the hat that I got is gonna be what the uniforms look like, and I'll I'll be right back.
So from my understanding, how I'm guesstimaing, and based on what a lot of people are saying, this uniform is going to be like almost black, but like a super dark gray with an aqua like lettering and stuff, which I think it's going to look dope. I think it's going to look dope, to be honest. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that it's not this Miami Vice thing that everybody thinks it's going to be. I hope it's not that, because I don't like that. But if you watch the first teaser, at the very end, they show you a different type of logo that it's basically our logo, but it's an aqua dolphin. I'm sorry, it's a black dolphin with aqua outlining. Yes, it's kind of very similar to that. Imagine
dust off this old bad boy. This was the Brian Flores era hat and helmet. Just saying, this was really. Now the new one is bigger, but this is the OG original from the tank year.
That's like a TFTG original then.
That's it. Yeah, pretty much.
So Scotty Joe says Miami has excitement, sunshine, women, beaches. Buffalo has chicken wings. I don't know if they got chicken wings, but you can go to Tootsie's and go get some of the best damn wings, according to Omar Kelly. So I would recommend that over going to Buffalo. Just going to point that out. Shout out to you, Scotty Joe. And shout out to Miami Fan Talk Show. What's up?
That's Big Philly.
Yeah, Big Philly. Shout out to you. And G's up in here now. What is up, G?
I go G.
So yeah, I'm kind of excited for this new uniform if they do it right. If that's what it is, I'm down with that. I can get behind that. So I'm excited for that. That's number one.
All right.
More sweetness. And we're going to talk about some players we brought in, right? We brought in some new players today.
Mm-hmm.
We brought in Jack Jones, former Raider, right? And
he was also with the Patriots. People probably remember him from the Patriots.
Hey, is there anything on Superbuck that we can get access to Miami Dolphins, like any training camps in the NFL?
No, they don't do that. That video, they don't.
Network is your best bet, bro. Go to NFL Network.
NFL Network. They'll have videos out. Like there was an interview with Cam Wolf on the NFL Network with Tua.
I don't know. I just want to watch players like practice.
Yeah, the film. They don't have any film of it. You're actually not even supposed to film most of it because it's like training techniques. What up, Grumpy? Scott, look who in here.
Nene's up in here. What's up, Nene? How you doing?
Just some Spygate. That's all.
So here's the best thing for you to do is watch NFL Network, or go on Twitter and go to the Dolphins community. You'll see videos up and down.
Hi, Nene.
So what's up, Lewis? Lewis, everyone hit the like. Appreciate Lewis. Thank you, Lewis. I appreciate you. Thank you. Come through, Lewis. I'm going to be dropping the link shortly.
Jimmy.
So essentially, we brought in Jack Jones, who, from my understanding, Joe Rist has already started. I got to go get an alcoholic drink now.
I need to. Damn, dude, I wasn't planning on drinking like that tonight, Joe, but
can you put the banner, the thing that scrolls across the bottom? Yeah. Can you put that?
My old lady's out back and she's looking at me. She's like, "Are you fucking crazy? We got hammered last night." So like real hammered.
Hammered. I get you. So from my understanding, Jack Jones played like the 8th most snaps in the NFL last year at corner. So that's pretty cool. So it's a guy that has a lot of experience, right? And I think it just proves to me that they're not looking to break the bank. They're looking for guys that can just hold down the secondary to slow teams up, because the real strength, in my opinion, is both the front seven and the safety room. That strength of the defense, to be honest, showed up today. It showed up today on a couple occasions, and we'll get into that. So they also brought in Mike Hilton, another guy that they brought in, who I think is probably going to be our nickel, probably, based on what I'm reading. So that it's very interesting. We'll see what happens there. What else I got for you? We got other stuff. We're going to, when El Cap comes back, we're going to actually break down the notes of training camp, good, the bad, the ugly, that I saw. These are the things that I saw and we're paying attention to. We'll definitely talk about that. I also got some news that we're going to talk about a former Dolphin, and it might get kind of weird around here, so get ready for that conversation. But anyways, how's everybody doing? Make sure you hit the like button. We really appreciate it. Jimmy, how you doing, sir? Joe Wrist, Nene, everybody, thank you very much for coming through. Grumpy, how you doing, sir? I'm going to be dropping the link soon. We will definitely be dropping the link. We're just waiting for El Cap to come back. When he comes back, I'll grab my drink and we will definitely take a drink. And yeah, it does sound like that guy color. I agree. So what else can I tell you that we are backed up on? Because we've had some news lately. What was the news yesterday? Do you remember what the news was yesterday, Tonk?
What?
I was asking, do you remember what the news was yesterday?
What
I
do
don't
you
know.
mean?
Was there any news yesterday? Do you remember?
You mean like I don't know. Just in reference to sports?
Yeah, like the NFL stuff. Nothing.
Yeah, there was I actually wanted to talk about it on my show. Wasn't there I actually forgot.
Okay. No worries.
Well, I'll think about it. I'll think about it, and when I think of it, I'll let you know.
Yes, Joe Wrist. We will talk about Wilkins. I know that's a big one. A lot of people want to talk about it. We actually, El Cap is here. Let's get into it.
Hold on. So what's his name? What's his name on the Steelers? Who was it? The player, Justin Fields. Justin Fields is injured.
Yeah, but he came back the very next.
Yeah, Justin Fields is all right.
He dislocated his toe. He's already back.
Yeah,
that's just a toe.
And then Shedeur Sanders. What they're saying about Shedeur Sanders, and then I don't know. There's a couple other things that have been going on, but I didn't know Justin Fields was already back.
Yeah, no, he's fine, dude.
Yeah, he's fine.
That's crazy. You gotta be careful. If you see Deion Sanders, he's had multiple toes amputated.
No,
because he's had so many injuries.
He seems to be doing just right.
No, yeah, but you even saw him on the stretcher like during games.
Nah, you good? You good, Joe? I'm down to clown, buddy.
Yeah, we're down to clown.
We always clown.
Yeah. I mean,
so
I could toughen through. I could toughen through a second night of drinking. It wouldn't be my first time. I've drank through hangovers before.
We've been fucking We've been clowning and drinking since fucking Goldschlager in fucking 1995.
Bro, that was
the only thing good to do with.
I think every kid's first time getting hammered story is them drinking Goldschlager.
The only thing good
to
do with
my wife's looking at me right now. She's like, she nodded with confirmation. She goes, "Oh yeah, my first time getting drunk Goldschlager." I remember me and fucking Tonk, we were camping at, where was it, your aunt's house or some shit?
Yeah, Loxahatchee.
Yeah, we're out in the fucking bayou. And we done, all the fucking grown-ups are gone now. Goldschlager's out. We're like, yeah, we drank a bunch. All we did was immediately pass out in the tent. And then we woke up simultaneously, both of us at the same time, to vomit outside the tent.
The only thing good to do with Goldschlager is to make liquid cocaine. That's it. That's the only thing good to do with that thing.
I gotta be honest.
What the fuck is liquid cocaine?
You don't know what liquid cocaine is? It's a drink. It's a drink. You take 151, a shot of Jaeger, and a shot of Goldschlager, and you mix it and you chug it. You'll get drunk like within 20 seconds.
Honest.
Oh man, damn, dude, what?
Liquid cocaine drink sounds disgusting.
It tastes disgusting, but you one of those, you're good for the whole night. You get buzzed like real quick.
It's like drinking that licorice liqueur, that green shit that they drink. Fuck out of
I
here,
love
dude.
Jaeger bombs though. I love the shit out of Jaeger bombs though, but I
used to
can't
love
mix all that
Jaeger
other
bombs
shit you were talking
Till me and
about.
my buddy got so drunk on Jaeger bombs, we fought a palm tree, and I was like, "No more Jaeger bombs."
You're like,
I'm not even shitting, dude. I'm not even shitting. Me and my buddy were like, "You guys, this motherfucker's squaring up."
So I got a funny story I want to
tree.
tell real quick. Speaking of Jaeger bombs and stuff like that, So my wife
Shake?
and I's first date, the first date I ever went on with my wife, right? I took her to a rock show that was being played at a it was like a club that had a stage, and they would have like some big name concerts, but they were like smaller concerts here in local town. And it was called the Mojo Room. And we would go there and you could pay $20 to get in. And it was all you can drink domestic beer, all you can drink, right? And we I was like
doing the Mojo Room. Come on, Ali,
anyway,
tell us.
So we get there and my wife's like, what should I drink? Because she's not really a big drinker. And I was like, have you ever had an Irish car bomb? And she goes, no, what's that? Yeah. And I was like, it tastes, if you chug it, it tastes just like chocolate milk. And she's like, okay. So I show her how to do it. We chug it. She's drinking. She drinks. She goes, that did taste like chocolate milk. Oh, wow. Right. So we're having a good time. And all of a sudden I'm looking around. I'm like, where did she go? Because she's been gone for a hot minute. And I see her
doing
at the
keg
bar.
stands and fighting dudes in the dance floor.
At the bar. And there's like 5 cups of dranked Irish car bombs.
Hell yeah.
And she goes, I'm not drunk. The next thing you know, I had to carry her to the car. I couldn't drink for the rest of the night. I had to take care of her, man. But that was the first.
Speaking of drinking for the night, shout out to Grunt with the $10 donate. I poured me a stiff one with some ice.
Hold it down for a second, El Cap. I'm gonna go get my drink. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you're $15 to the good right now. Fucking son of a bitch.
So I'll take it.
Marino's go. Nene, how y'all doing?
Look at Shake back there.
Yeah, shaking here,
look
lurking,
at Shake
dog.
back there. Smelling like cinnamon tablet toothpaste.
Hell yeah. Fucking cinnamon crest up in this bitch.
He's the only dude I know that has cinnamon toothpaste, let alone it being tablet.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Lurking in the cut.
What's going on, man? How y'all doing?
I'm not drinking alcohol, but I
feel like I don't get enough screen time with Shake no more. Yeah. Shake, we gotta do more screen time, you and I. Chuck us that lighter, babe.
Like face, huh?
No, I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna drink some
season's cooking. Shake, we gotta get a routine. Blue agave.
Yeah.
Where'd you get all these? Well, listen, are these all from like airplane travel? Where are you getting all these little ones from, dog?
So my brother-in-law works for a distributor here in the state, and he gets like tons of these mini.
God damn, he done married into royalty, bro. Married into royalty.
I don't know if Shake works for one. I mean, does he have any?
Yeah, Shake. Where's all the like? What are we talking about? Shake. What? You right, Ollie? Shake. Where our promotional alcohol at, dog? I mean, Shake. You. I mean, you big dogging now. Around there, maybe it's time for some sponsorships or some new local somebody somewhere trying to get in the chain link.
Yeah, so he travels like the whole South Florida, doing deliveries and stuff, all the way down from Vero all the way to Miami.
I missed the wine reviews, Shake.
Yeah, those were good reviews.
The guest and they would bring on wine. It's hard though. Maybe you shouldn't just limit it to wine. Let's do it like alcoholic beverages or something.
Yeah, so we're doing that. That's a
I'd be willing to even maybe do something that's like, I don't know, alcoholic free drinks.
Mm-hmm.
Nerd.
Like they got Heineken Zero.
Yeah, it's called orange juice. That's alcoholic free drink.
That's funny. That's funny shit.
Yeah. Who wants to drink nasty ass grapefruit juice? You best throw some.
What the hell? Ain't no
hold up, Grumpy. Are you gonna be there? I'll be there Saturday, bro. You better be ready.
Oh, what?
I'm gonna bring a bigger bottle, and we better finish it before the end of the training camp.
Whoa, calm down, boys. Don't be getting hemmed up. Go there and get some training camp. Make sure you get some notes and some videos.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
God
the
damn,
boss
these
told
boys
me
are
I
out
got.
here.
I'm not allowed to drink, Grumpy. What are we gonna do? Take a shot, anyways. We can pregame. It'll be all right.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, let's get into the some of the salty that I know people are dying to talk about right now. Okay. So let's actually talk about the Wilkins news, because that we're gonna take a weird turn here, right?
Oh, we're going to the Wilkins news first?
Or what other news do you want to talk about first before
Well, I
that?
thought we were going to do the Tua Tyreek stuff, but okay, we can go with the Wilkins news. Let's do
The
that
Tua
first, because the
Tyreek
Tua and
stuff,
Tyreek thing is going to be a long deal. We might want
that
to
is
open
gonna
it
be
up
long.
after that.
Yeah, this is going to be a shorter deal. Let's go to the Wilkins news. Then we'll talk about training camp, and then we'll end with the Tyreek Tua stuff, because I have a comment, because you may not like what I have to say.
Oh, turn up, dog.
And then we'll drop the link. Everybody can funnel through and party with us. Okay.
Yeah.
So some news came out that supposedly, according to the Raider sources or internal, that the part of the reason that they are releasing him is because of the fact that he had an incident with another player. And this incident is being defined as weird, but not just weird. It was stated, I quote, weird. So what does that mean?
It was weird, like a very weird incident.
Yeah, that's
the quote.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I heard about this. And you know, we know that Christian Wilkins is a serial freaking dick grabber, right?
Yeah.
He's a serial dick grabber.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
he was
I've
already
heard
released. I agree.
it said by many a coaches, y'all boys quit playing grab ass over there. Is Christian Wilkins playing grab dick over there? Because that's a fireable offense. And
I mean, if he got into a fight with a player, is that really weird?
no,
Right?
that's not weird.
That's normal. We
If
saw
he got into
these fight. They had a brawl 2 days in a row. You know what I mean? That's just how it happens. But you know, grabbing ass and grabbing dick, I can kind of see how that could be kind of weird.
I'm just saying. I mean, I got to be honest. I always thought Wilkins kind of, got them hips.
Well,
I'm
Lewis
just saying.
says he thinks Wilkins is a fruit booty. I do think he is kind of about those booty cheeks, to be honest.
I'm just saying
kidding.
the
Just
fact that now there was a very weird incident also tied to what would come into the calculus of why they decided to let him go. I mean, dude, here goes Big Philly saying that, bro, I said that shit like 2 years ago. I knew someone that knows a former Clemson football player that also went to the league on that D-line. He said he plays both sides. So, I mean, Christian Wilkins, it's just
I don't know. Look, for me, it's this. I don't care if he does both, right? I don't need to know about it.
Joe Risco's. He's going for those sacks.
I don't
Damn.
know. I don't know, bro.
That was good, bro. That was good.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
That's funny. I look, I don't know really what's going on over there. All I can say is that this is a guy that everybody's like saying bring him home and everything.
Hey, I mean, they got representation around these parts.
Look,
I mean, they do in Vegas
right
too.
now, I can tell you right now, I liked how our defensive line looked at camp. I would say that we don't need him.
No.
Don't stunt the development of the young guys you just brought in. Not only did we double up El Cap on defensive tackle, which I said would be a really good move by the Dolphins.
You and I predicted it all heading into the offseason and pre-draft. You and I said they're going to double up on D-tackle.
Yeah, and they tripled up. They didn't just double up; they tripled up, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And that being said, I don't think that there's any reason why you need to bring this man home, right? Pay Zach Syler like you should have already done. Pay him, which I got some news, not really news, but something I saw at training camp that we'll get to about Syler in that situation. But also on top of it, you got Kenny G in-house. You got Biggers and you got Phillips. Let them develop, bro. Let them become the defensive tackles that you think they can become. We constantly do this. We draft somebody, then we go sign somebody on top of it. And all it does is slow down the development. And I'm kind of over it. Let's actually utilize these players the way they should be utilized. That's how what I'm thinking right now, to be honest. But yeah, any final thoughts about the Wilkins?
I mean, listen, I'll be interested to see how the details continue to come out, because I don't care what anybody says, foot surgery or not, it didn't make much sense why the Raiders would cut Wilkins with so much eaten dead cap money for this season, whether he would play or not. Even if like, okay, say he had to get a second surgery like they claimed, and that took him out this season, and then they decide to cut him with the reserve designation, right? Because that's where he's at right now anyhow. That's nothing has changed. Why did they get out in front of it and cut it rather than to see what they could work out for a guy they gave a lot of money to, $50 million, and he only played 5 games with them last year. That's how much money he kept. I think the number came out to like 49.9 or something like that, 49.3 million that he kept of that money. And they're still next year going to carry 8 million in dead cap with the cut. So they've paid him all year this year. They've paid him 8 million next year, and they're not going to even try to figure it out because of a foot. A foot? Is the foot going to have to be amputated? I don't think so. So like even if he had to get surgery on it now, maybe he can come back and play the last 4 games and prove that he wants to be a Raider. But the Raiders were like, nah, get him up out of here, bro. Now, I could get it if he was kind of being a dick or somebody that's heart wasn't in it. But Christian Wilkins was always a real try-hard, high-motor type of guy. So if you're going to tell me that his heart is completely out of the game, he has no desire to play football, that's kind of – I don't really believe that. I mean, I guess it could be true, but – now that there's other details coming out that there's some more things going on and they were quote unquote weird, that seems a little bit more on par of the reasonings to let him go. The foot compounding with these other things, and him not taking their doctors seriously, all those reasons. Because
and I agree with my buddy here, Bulldog. Wilkins wasn't worth the money he wanted. I'm sorry, he wasn't.
Shit. And Grumpy with another
$10 donation.
Yeah, right, salute Grumpy. And Grumpy renewing his membership too. So we gotta hit the like button, everybody. The realest YouTube shouting out the color.
What's up, really? And everybody else?
Shout out to everybody.
I'm almost ready for more.
Yeah, so anyway, that's some weird news. I figured we'd share it. I don't want to bring him back. Let's use what we got. I got some good things to say about our defense today anyways. I mean,
look, if in a perfect world, we contractually, Zach Syler's taken care of. Minkah Fitzpatrick, who has contract stuff that he wants to do. These things are all wrapped up, and we've got money left over. And Wilkins were to come to Miami for a cheap deal because he's making all this money already. I'm down for it, but not if there's some weird shit behind it. Like I don't need whatever scandal might be in tow of his firing ended up in the Miami Dolphins doorstep. We're good over here. We got enough scandals going on, and that's kind of going to turn the page to what I got to talk about next with you that I really wanted to talk about is this Tua and Tyreek Hill kind of beef that the media seems all the more happy and glad to fan the Flames. All the freaking football players that do podcasts, all the everything are commenting on Tua's comments about holding Tyreek Hill accountable. And
So
everybody feels some kind of certain way about all this. I just want to play, if I could, the audio of what just a cut of it. We're talking there was a good 10 minutes.
Before you do that, can we talk about the draft notes real quick? Because that will go by real quick.
I think draft. Do you mean draft notes or the
training camp notes? Training camp notes.
Okay, training camp notes. Yeah, let's get into that because this is going to get.
I have some comments that could lead into what you're going to talk about. Okay.
Okay.
So that's why I want to kind of build this up to there. All right. So I went to today's training camp. I got up super 5 a.m. early. Went to camp. Right. Went to Dunkin' Donuts to get my
boots on the ground
donut. Went straight there. Right. I didn't take any video, but I took a lot of notes that I had typed out. And actually not typed out. I did voice to text, and then I moved it to a PDF file so I could actually review it with you guys. So essentially, when
good, because I want to ask some questions.
So you want to ask questions? Okay, we can do it that style. But I want to give you guys a kind of like not necessarily a breaking news, but something to keep an eye out for. Okay, right off the get-go, very interesting thing I saw while they were coming out and warming up and stretching and everything. El Cap, who do you think came out and was side by side with Zach Syler and talking for all of the warm up and stretching?
I would have to say, man, like when you're saying who's going to be buddied up with him, I gotta imagine it's the rookie Kenneth Grant.
During stretching, Mike McDaniel was sitting there having a full-blown conversation with him. And it wasn't just like, hey, man, what's up? You ready? You pumped kind of thing? No, they were talking about something. They were both in agreement. At one point, it looked like Zach Syler was pointing away from everybody and like at the building. Is a deal coming? That's what I want to know. Like, is this sign where maybe they're getting close on an extension? Because this extension, to me, Zach Syler is worth some money, and I think we need to do this for the sake of what they want this identity of the defense to be. What do you think?
Well, I think two things about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Number one, I think you've seen it, you noticed it, and others seen it and noticed it as well. We do know that Mike McDaniels has a way about favoritism. He'll go and pound the table for the players to get them paid.
Yeah.
I think that's also known to all of us in that aspect. So if you're looking at it and observing it and questioning, that merely will be your answer, right? Like that line of inquiry will lead you to believe that, yes, there's contract. Mike's on his side. He's working the angle from the other way. It reminds me of a famous Shakespeare quote where he says, and this is roughly it: all of the world is a stage and everybody is merely players. And that's pretty much what it is to me.
That was in fact Shakespeare.
Huh?
So that was in fact Shakespeare.
That's right, Color. Your boy knows some shit, Color.
All the world is
all the world is a stage and everyone is merely players. And that's the truth. There's another anyhow, I could go into a different quotes on how that has been rewritten over time, even by like the band Run the Jewels, the rappers. They redid a rendition on that as well, saying that life is a pageant. Everybody's in it, and essentially that wasn't done by accident. Mike didn't go over to him by accident to not create this optic that then is putting some time, whether he goes and pounds on the table or not, We know Zach Sealer's playing good soldier. We know he wants more money. The Dolphins need to get it done. The fans want it. Mike is siding with him publicly. This ultimately will happen, just like we've seen before with Tua getting paid because the fans wanted it, because pay the man, market is what the market is. And Mike over here, kicked and screamed. And if it's needing to go to the distance of kicking and screaming for it, it will happen. So fear not, Dolphin fans, as Ali confirmed with visual sight on boots on the ground. One more piece in Zach Sealer staying here longer pile has accrued, and that was Mike McDaniel's public display of favoritism for the cool kids table.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think he deserves a contract. He's not like one of these players that we kind of like. I don't know if we want to give him the money.
Pay that guy, dude.
Deserves. Pay him.
Give me 53 Zach Sealers, and I'm winning football games, baby.
So that's what I noticed. Very first thing, right when they came out. Go ahead with. I know you have questions about camp. Go ahead and ask me, and I will try to answer based on what I saw, if you'd like.
So I want to know. Get any looks at Kenneth Grant?
Yes, they did.
How'd the kid look? How'd he look sizable in his size? He's a big kid versus two guys that are already on the team.
I gotta say people up. I gotta say something about that. He is not the biggest of the young players we just brought in.
Is that right?
He's big. Don't get me wrong. He's definitely big. He's slight. I want to say he's almost the same size as Zach Syler, right? Except he's a little bit more stockier than Zach Syler. But then you have Biggers, and I will say that Biggers is definitely bigger. All right?
Is that right?
Is that right? He's like taller, and I want to say he looks like he's taller and a little bit more athletic. It's just weird. You have to see it.
I gotta get a refill. That's a good. That's good to hear. I want to, because listen, give me a monster, give me a freak, baby.
Bro, I'm telling you, this defensive line, because I was up and close, I was maybe about 5-10 yards away from them, right? This defensive line, they are big. We have some big people on that line now, and it's very exciting to see. They were, the defensive line, in my opinion, was very, very fast, movements wise. Please note, nobody had full pads on, so they couldn't really hit. It'll be different when they get full pads and they can go 100%. It'll be different. But so far, I liked what I saw from them. I watched, and I'll wait till El Cap gets back, but I'll give you a little bit more detail with some coaching that was going on with the defensive line as well, which I was kind of really happy to see, firsthand. But while we're waiting for El Cap to get back, make sure you hit the like button. We have 102 people watching on all formats. Come over to the YouTube side, join the chat, hang out with us. I'll be dropping the link here in a little bit. As soon as we get done with this conversation with the notes from training camp, we are going to drop the link. I know Michael K has been trying to get up here. We will definitely get you up, sir. Not like that, pause, but, we'll definitely get you on the show. But anybody else want to come through? Definitely. And thank you for the $5 donation, Grumpy. I'm taking another shot from you. Whew. All right. Let's see who else we got in the chat. Boxing Bill. We should have drafted nose tackle DeAndre Sweat last year. That boy is a monster in the middle. Titans drafted him. I liked him. I see your point. Let's see. On the car ride home, ask yourself, would you rather pick 5 or pick 13th when we draft our franchise quarterback? Sorry, not sorry. You won't fool me again. I hear you. I do have a question about that, G, and I want to know your honest opinion. If we end up, let's say, with a a number 10 pick overall or top 10 pick. Let's just say that, right? And Drew Adler is there for you to take. Would you take him? I want to know your thoughts on that. Joris says he's excited about the plays he has seen. Yes, definitely. Any word on Kader Kehu? That's a good question. I heard that afterwards he was walking past the media group perfectly fine. Very, very minimal limp. I personally think that he maybe just, tweaked something a little bit and he walked it off. That's what I think is the issue. But if you're wondering why we brought in a bunch of corners, which we brought in 2 guys today, Jack Jones and Mike Hilton. Yeah, go ahead, Alcap. Ask me more questions so we can explain why that may have happened.
Real quick before we do, I want to say, Color, Marino's GOAT, happy to see you with the $2 donny.
Oh, appreciate that, GOAT. How you been? Good to see you, man.
What's up with okay, let's go with these corners. The Jack Jones guy, I think a lot of us, if you remember, he was with the Patriots just 2 years ago. Seems to be a decent enough guy in a thin cornerback room. I think these guys were both targets. The what's his name from Cincinnati, the other guy. What's his name? Hilton, some shit.
Mike Hilton.
Your mic's kind of far. I was like, I can't
Mike
really hear
Hilton.
you.
Can you hear me? Hilton.
Yeah, it was weird.
Sorry.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, you're good. Mike Hilton. Yeah. Obviously, these guys were targeted before Kader got a little nicked up. But I like that there's some NFL experience. I like that there's a little bit there. They're obviously being very diligent. I know they've been in talks with Raul Douglas, who hasn't signed with the Dolphins and is still looking from other players. I know that they've been looking at Asante Samuel, and for whatever reason, probably financially, they haven't gone those directions. While these other guys like Jack Jones and Hilton, they realize, hey, season's starting. I need to end up on a team that needs somebody and needs me, or else I ain't gonna be working this year. And the Dolphins might be, maybe we can get somebody that. Listen, give me a hungry dog. Okay. Now, is a guy going to work out? I don't know. But give me a guy that's got some experience, that's in a position now on a team that says, hey, you take the job. Job's yours. Because I don't think Cam Smith's going to be keeping anybody away. And how did Cam Smith look today, Ali? That's what I want to know. How was Cam Smith today?
Dog trash. Absolutely.
Dog trash or dog water?
Dog trash. Like, he shit the bed so bad today, bro. He got beat by a undrafted mini receiver out of UCF, bro. Right? And it was so bad. Like, and when I say he got beat, like, he had the ability, he had the opportunity to go up and smack the ball down or maybe intercept the ball. Not only did he let the player go past him to catch the ball, but he barely even ran after him. Personally, this is what I think. I think he already knows he's on his way out. Because if I'm the Dolphins, I'm cutting his ass. I'm sorry, he's gone. Right? There's no point wasting any more money. His contract obviously is not guaranteed like our newest second round draft pick. So, I wouldn't give him any more money. I would either trade him or cut him as quickly as possible. Cut your losses. I'm sorry, Greer. This one draft pick was a fail.
I got to be honest. Get his ass up out of here. If he can't get on the field now, then he can't be on this team. Him, Channing Tindall, give me new blood. Right. I would rather take less from those positions on the roster and put them in places I need. O-line depth, safety depth, whatever. Do not keep guys around. Developing is all gone. Fuck all that. We ain't got no time for developing.
So for me, he looked like dog trash Marshall, the kid that we just drafted this year, had probably, in my opinion, one of the best interceptions of the
from
day.
Florida.
Yeah, he had one of the best interceptions of the day.
Yeah,
he looked good. But I got to be frank about something, right? I'm going to be.
I thought that was a pretty good pick. I think the kid from Florida is going to get. I think he's going to get a real shot out here.
I got to give you. I want to be frank about something, right? So it was really weird how right off the get go, right? Cam Smith wasn't even the start with the starters at all. It was Sheffield who was with the starters, right? So he got team 1 snaps, number 14. And then Marshall was there. They showed up. And the coverage, to be honest, it looked like the secondary had, pretty decent coverage, in different areas. So I think the Dolphins, though they signed Jack Jones and Hilton, I personally think that they're still going to try to roll with some of these youngins, and they're okay with not spending the top dollar on an Asante Samuel. Or
I think I think that's been. I don't even think that we needed to get Camp. I think it made it plainly obvious that they are going to not go heavy in the financials outside of Minkah Fitzpatrick for the DBs. They're only going one dude in the DB room that's getting money. The rest are going to be young guys getting a shot. But all the defensive money spent at the linebackers and the outside linebackers and pass rushers and D-line. And that's where the assets and money is. Yuri Cree asks Patrick Paul, how'd he look? I know he can stand out in a crowd. That's for sure. You get any eye on Patrick Paul out there today, Ali?
So the offensive line, I didn't look for him specifically. I was just looking, to be honest, the offensive line, for whatever reason, they had them working out on the farthest point of the field. So unless you were all the way down there watching them specifically, right? But when they did the scrimmage, I will say this. On run plays, it looked like the offensive line was moving very well, right? Like you could see the speed of the offensive line. But pass blocking looked like trash. There was 2 or 3 times that both Tua and Zach Wilson would have gotten blasted in the backfield. Really bad. I don't know whose fault that was. I don't know if that was the fault from the guards or if one of the players, one of the tackles, I'm not sure. There was one instance where they would have blasted the quarterback, but Zach Wilson, used his anticipation and went around the defensive tackle and still made the pass. That was kind of cool. But I don't know. I think there was like a couple plays that I saw that he struggled with. It just, to me, the offensive line is not where it should be at yet. They've made some improvements, but we still have a lot of work to do. That's my assessment. That's where I'm at.
Okay. All right.
A lot of work to do.
What about and I think this is what the Realist YouTube channel actually is asking is behind Tyreek Hill and Waddle, who's shaping up to be that number 3 wide receiver? We've got a mixed bag of nuts at the wide receiver position. We brought in the kid from Tennessee. We've got, what's his name? Taj Washington coming off of what we think was injured. We've got Malik Washington, who got hell of a lot of snaps last year. Who's going to be coming out in front at that 3rd wide receiver position? So
Westbrook Ichine did get some looks. He did have 1 or 2 catches. How's it going, Crypto? He had a couple catches, right? But they, like I said, the coverage, they had him covered very well based on the plays that went to him. I'll tell you who looked the best in wide receiver. Jalen Waddle is doing Jalen Waddle things, he's starting to really show up. Like there's no rust, you know what I mean? And
Gotcha.
Some of the catches I saw today, guess what he's not doing, Color?
He's body catching them?
No, he's catching the balls with his hand, but he's not jumping up in the air. That's what I was talking about. You know how?
He's stretching out and staying in stride now. He's not jumping up to meet the ball.
Yeah, he's keeping his body on the ground, basically, like not, none of this, like, oh, let me jump up for a ball that you don't need to jump up for. You know what I'm saying? He's not doing that. So that's
Thank
good.
God, because I feel like he's so much faster if he stops doing that.
Quicker than he did last year too.
I bet, because he's fast as shit and he's shifty as hell, and he'd stay that way if he'd stayed on the ground moving around.
Yeah,
and just got to where the ball was.
He really shined today at receiver. The other guy that got a lot of looks.
Well, Ali, I heard that they played the audio from the last time I explained how important the eyes are. They played that audio.
The new wide receiver coach that they got in touch with the Finns tailgate. I didn't want to say it, but of course, Color's going to spoil it. HB got an email from one of the wide receiver coaches. And he asked for the audio rights. We said, of course. And it was Color's explanation of how to catch a football and how to do it properly. And there was hours of critique of what Waddle was doing.
I mean, there was actually science behind it. Like,
of course. I heard that the wide receivers coach actually got in touch with Color, brought him in, and they actually broke down film. And then he tried to show CB83's show, and the wide receiver said, "I can't look at that ever again."
No, required to disavow any knowledge of going in and doing that, Ali.
Yeah.
I'm messing around.
I like Color's answer. Perfect answer, Color.
Anyway, so that being said, the wide receiver that got a lot of looks and kind of impressed, Eskridge looked good today. He got a lot of looks, surprisingly.
Isn't that the dude that Tua gave the hospital ball to last year?
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was the boys. I thought it was the boys.
That's him.
No, it wasn't Du Bois. It was Eskridge, I thought.
God, now Lewis is going to come up here and complain because we had to bring it back to Tua, man.
Well, that's where we're going, because Tua has.
Ali, I'm disappointed. Ali, you didn't give me an update on. You didn't give me an update on our star Eichenberg. I need a status update on Eichenberg. We have no shot without Eichenberg.
Well, right now the offensive line doesn't look so good without him. So just think of that, at this point.
Chat saying it was Grant DeBose.
It was Grant DeBose. That's what I thought. So
that's why they looked bad, Ali, because we didn't have our star Eichenberg.
Maybe.
That's the only reason they looked bad.
Crypto, there might be something to that, Now, here's the deal.
Yeah.
Those guys that are out there, we know if Eichenberg was there, that O-line's going to hum. But they need to hum without Eichenberg, because that's the way this is actually the right way to do it. Mm-hmm. It's the proper way to do it. You got to this is the time to train. It's training camp. Get the guys that need to be trained up on it.
Yeah.
So I got some other news about wide receivers. I got to get my first look on Andrew Armstrong, the SEC leading receiver.
Oh yeah, how'd he look, bro?
I will tell you this:
is he a freak? Is he freaking gigantic?
Compared to seeing our midget receivers, he looks giant standing at the line of scrimmage. Even in his stance, when he's got his front foot forward like this, like getting ready, he looks so much taller than everybody else.
Hell yeah. So
that being said, he looks good. He did have one or two catches that I kind of was like, wow, that's a pretty good catch. I want to say with him is getting the timing right, probably.
Yeah, it's going to be the hard part of everything.
That's my wide receiver assumption there. Tight ends. Let's talk about tight ends. I didn't like seeing the tight ends in one of the drills I was watching. They were getting ready to do the scrimmage, and they were doing this. They're doing that little backfield curl route where the tight end comes out, backs up from the line of scrimmage and runs this little curl where Tua can dump it off to him and they can run up. You know what I'm talking about? We saw what's his face that just got traded, Jonnu Smith.
Jonnu Smith used to do it. It's that pulling tight end down the backside of the line, roll out and in the flat.
Okay, they were all dropping it, bro. They were all dropping it. It was the worst catches I've ever seen. It was bad. It was really bad.
Damn.
Darren Waller can get that rust off, get into game shape. Please bring some good hands because we
Does he
need
not
it
look
bad
at
right
this?
now.
Oh, well, you didn't get to see Waller.
He's on pup right now.
Yeah, he's on pup. That's right.
So it looks bad, in my opinion. Blocking, I didn't get to see too much of the tight end. You know, I was kind of paying attention to other positions at the time. So there's that. What other positions or people you want to know about? Go ahead.
I'm gonna ask about it, even though the haters are the Tua sexuals are gonna kill me. But the reality is, we need to know, how are these backup quarterbacks looking? How is Zach Wilson looking? How is Quinn Ewers looking? What's the tail? Because we're going to be watching those two quarterbacks we just named in the preseason. Tua will not come out in the preseason. Maybe for a series at some point, but that's it.
Okay, so let's talk about those quarterbacks. I'll even talk about Tua right now. Okay, the simple throws that Tua makes all the time, those were all the same. He makes them all the time.
Yeah.
What was weird, and it's kind of like Tua to do this, the very first play of the scrimmage was like a 15-yard post route, kind of a route that he was throwing it upfield. He threw it to a ghost out there. There was nobody within 10 yards.
He's just stretching the defense.
I don't know what he did. I think someone either missed their route or something. I don't know what he was doing there. So that happened at first. So right now, off the bat, I'm like, oh, this isn't good. Then there was some throws where he threw up the middle, and they tipped the defensive line. Kind of ruled at first. They were tipping the ball and whatnot. Real
quick, Ali. Shout out to Yuri for the $10 donation. That's a couple more shots in the chamber. Thank you, Yuri. Go ahead, continue on. Damn, easy up, Ali. Woo.
Oh. Okay. Can barely feel my face now.
That was for Marino's goat.
Thank you.
Yeah. Appreciate you.
So essentially, comes in Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson threw a ball to the outside that looked horrible, to be honest. It could have been a pick six very easily. He didn't look so good. Then something happened and things started clicking. Zach Wilson had a couple throws that looked damn good. Throws that you see Tua make really easily. He was making them. And there was a lot of zip on the ball too. His passes were zip and almost like darts at time.
What?
Yeah. Zach Wilson actually had a really good day, to be honest.
I walked outside and you were gone.
I don't know. I wasn't gone. I've been here the whole time, bro. But Zach Wilson, I will say overall, he had a pretty good day, right? It wasn't perfect, but he had a pretty good day. And I know Mika Fitzpatrick had a big time interception against one of the quarterbacks. I can't remember if it actually, hold on. Let me look at my notes.
Sorry, boys. The wife was giving me shit and I didn't realize the mic was still on. Nope.
Hey, Shannon, Buffalo, Madison, this is nice position. Yeah. So one thing I noticed about Zach Wilson, he had really nice anticipation, of knowing where to pass, where to pinpoint the ball. And he
what about Quinn Ewers?
Well, we'll get to that. Right. And he had some really nice, sideline to sideline passes, as well as down the field. He made a couple passes too. So overall, I think Zach Wilson is definitely, he's starting to catch on and is starting to look decent. Quinn Ewers comes in. Now, at first, Quinn Ewers didn't do very much. Then he made a couple throws that were like, wow, that was a good damn throw, right? Mm-hmm. In fact, one of them, granted, it got picked off ultimately. Yeah. And I think that was the Mika Fitzpatrick one, I think. But he had a hell of a pass that he threw downfield, right? And it just wasn't enough. But he's starting to come along. But I want to say Zach Wilson is definitely ahead of him. I also want to say this. This is only the third day of camp, so we got a long way to go. But I can see that there's definitely much more talent in that room than we've had in the past. I will just.
What do you mean, as far in the quarterback room?
Yes.
Okay, so in talent,
behind Tua, there's better talent in
there's
my
more
opinion.
consistent. Okay, I like that because there's better
I like
talent.
the arm of Zach Wilson much better than Skylar Thompson. No offense to Skylar. I was hoping for you, but Zach Wilson definitely looked better.
Zach Wilson was a first round draft pick for a reason.
Zach Wilson also his what's the one thing they say Tua does really well? Behind the line, he
accuracy.
What is that? His footwork.
Looks off. Oh,
his footwork and avoiding contact. He's really good at it, supposedly. Zach Wilson showed he could do that. Would have been a would-be sack. He freaking dodged the defensive tackle, still made the hell of a pass, to the receiver. So those were
That's
some
good.
things I noticed with the quarterback.
Shout out to Bulldog with the $10 donation. Drink up, fellas. Fins up.
What's up, Bulldog?
Bulldog, if I can't wake up in the morning, my wife will be mad at you, just so you know that.
I'm just gonna I'm trying to polish off this one that I got. So
Cap, you've met Bulldog, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's your homie, right, Ali?
Yeah, the one that goes to the games with me every game.
Driver.
Mm-hmm.
My driver.
He's Ali's driver. That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's Ali's driver.
Yeah, when you're a rock star like me, you don't need to drive.
That's
bro.
it. When you fucking
rock star, yeah. We know what he drives.
You know you're my homie, bro.
We know what he drives for, bro. You don't have to hide it, man.
So I've driven for you too, Cullen. You know that.
Perfectly legal now.
That's true.
From what I hear.
Anyway, let's talk about running backs. I want to talk about running backs real quick.
Yeah. What's going on?
Running backs looked. There's a surprise running back. Let's just point it that way.
Real quick. Okay.
Good.
How's Achan? Looking dope.
He's doing Achan things.
Looking like little Reggie Bush out there.
He kind of looks more like the 2023 Achan, where he busted out 50-yard runs like crazy when he hit the outside. He had a couple of those today, right? But the surprise,
real quick, day one's gonna explode if we don't answer this. Go back to Grant. What's up with Kenneth Grant?
Oh, he looked good, bro. He's starting to pick up. He had a would-be sack I saw in the backfield for one play.
What up, cat in the hat?
Very fast. Like, one thing I liked that I saw from the defensive line, especially for the plays that they were calling, because these are still vanilla plays, right?
Yeah, he's still getting it. He's still wet behind the ears, as they say.
One thing I liked was the pursuit to the ball. The pursuit to the ball was really good from the front seven. When they were trying to do these outside runs, bro, they were there quick.
Sideline to sideline.
I liked it a lot.
Well, listen, real quick, Ali, because that's actually an extremely interesting point you're giving right there. Yeah. Because if the formations of the plays and the defense is getting out in front of things on runs and on passes, that's how you counterbalance with your front seven for your obviously lacking secondary. You're going to help them out a lot, and that's really what that's good to hear. That's how they're moving.
And just to give you some other aspect of that real quick, because I want to talk about the running backs first. But there was some formations that the defense were kind of showing that based on the personnel they were using kind of surprised me. Where you have Chubb, Chop, and Phillips, on the line. That was kind of interesting, along with the nose tackle. You may have seen photos of that flying around Dolphins Twitter. That was really interesting, seeing that type of personnel group. It was just overall very interesting, what they're doing with that defensive line. I also really liked the defensive line coach. I mentioned it to Color. This guy's yelling and screaming, get your fucking pads down. And you could hear him from across everywhere. Like his voice echoed all the time. And
hell yeah.
That's D-line coach Austin Clark.
He's been here for a minute, dog.
Yeah, Austin Clark was like, I'm going to come in with some balls and start yelling at people.
He's been around for a while.
For those of you that that followed my shows a lot, you might remember we did do a press conference where I had nothing but complimentary things to say about the guy. I think the guy's a stud. I think he's got a great career ahead of him as a coach.
Yeah. So that was super cool. I really enjoyed, watching that. So that was pretty dope. So let's talk about the running backs, because I said there's a surprise here. I said both in Twitter Space last week and everything, based on who they have and who he has ahead of them, I could very well see this person getting cut. After today, I'm starting to question that. Alexander Madison, the former running back for both the Vikings and the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, he had a good day.
He was the guy that came in for Dalvin Cook when Dalvin Cook left Minnesota.
Yeah, he had a good day. He was making runs that we see Achane make, right? When you hit the outside and he takes off, he would have had 2 or 3 touchdowns today. Right. If they were running full speed into the end zone.
Ali, he's kind of built a lot like Mostert was, right? You think?
Yes, I would. Thank you for bringing that up. He reminded me of the role based on where he was running and stuff that Mostert had. Now,
so he's the new bar for a guy like Jalen Wright.
Yeah, but Jalen Wright, I only saw like 1 or 2 plays of his that
I
really.
heard he wasn't out there today. Him and Ollie
he was out there. He was out there. I saw him. Okay. I'm positive I did. He only had I want to say 1 or 2 carries that popped, but all of it was straight up the middle. So it kind of makes me think: are they going to use Madison and Achane to run the outsides? Because Achane and Madison did not run inside from what I could see. Right. I believe it was Wright that did.
Well, although Madison, from my own observation over the last couple seasons, has been known, especially when he was in Minnesota, to just gash people right up the middle. So it's not like he doesn't have the skill. You know what I mean? One other thing I wanted to point out just really quick before we shifted gears too far about the D-line coach, Austin Clark. If y'all might remember, he was the guy that was saying that they had to earn the right to go after the quarterback. Remember that?
Yeah.
That whole philosophy of like earning the right to go balls out to the quarterback. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was him.
I'm going to go ahead and say, if we have to pick somebody different than Achane today to have the orange jersey, Alexander Madison is my orange jersey for today, just so you know that.
Man, I'm just listening to this because I think, look, I'm high on Ollie Gordon. I think the kid's really good. If his snap count's low, because Jalen Wright, I think we're expecting to have a definite workload increase.
Michael
and
K.
now Madison's
so
there.
Bad. Can I bring him up? I was gonna wait till we bring everyone
Madison,
else.
I guess.
Hey, Ollie, I got a question for you.
Madison is good enough to buy you time.
Yeah.
To
see, this is why you don't bring him
right.
up right here, Ollie.
Yeah. He's already. Where's he at? We already know where he is.
Look,
okay?
see,
we already know.
Right.
Look, there he is, right there. What you got? Oh, he's showing his puppy.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, little puppy dog.
Nothing says
TFTG
no idea what like he's a Bills fan and their dog.
He has no idea what he's getting into. Look at him. He walked away from me. He's like, get away from me. This guy's hurting. This guy's like, what?
Is that a Labrador?
What kind of? What is that? A dog?
Yeah.
What is
it? Looks like a chocolate. It looks like a chocolate lab.
Chocolate lab.
Yeah, looks like a little chocolate lab. HB.
Come here, Tucker.
Loyal dogs. Yeah. Loyal dogs.
Yeah, chocolate labs are very.
Come, Jefferson.
Yep. Right. Michael K. just screaming.
He looks docile.
Michael K.
Let that little baby go to sleep, man. It's almost 11 o'clock at night. Oh, look.
Dogs are not supposed to sleep at this time. They're supposed to be protecting your house at night.
He's only 7 weeks old, man.
Look at his head. He's starting to get happy.
He should be guarding your door.
Nah, the only thing he does is
between the puppy and your new grill, you've been pretty busy there, Mike.
You gotta get him. You gotta get him early on duty. So okay.
Give me one of those nipples.
Yeah.
Give me one of those
hold on.
All right, no more. Listen, Michael K. We're trying to talk about football, not puppies.
Right now, we're talking about football. So,
I think that Madison buys you time, kind of as a veteran, as a decent veteran, to continue to develop right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, listen at this.
kind of take it at the right pace with him. You know what I mean?
Let me just put it this way: because we know the running back position, we've had injuries in the past. You know, it happens; it's part of the game, right? Exactly. I would be okay based on what I saw that I can trust Madison to run some of these runs that Achane does effectively. He was fast too. He looks
and Madison is already knows he's at the journeyman level. He himself is probably feeling like, hey, I'm a running back. I've got a certain shelf life. If Jalen Wright comes out taking his job over the couple weeks in the season, fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What you're doing is you're keeping that bar for Jalen Wright to meet. Where instead of
here's
when
the
we
question:
got rid of
are they going to keep
when we got Mostert out the building, you think, oh, now it's Wright to take Wright would be taking that role, but no, or that spot. But it's like no.
As bad as
McDaniel brings in Madison and says, no, here's another bar you got to get over, right? You know what I mean?
As bad as the tight ends look, to be honest, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I would be surprised if we kept more than two tight ends.
More than two running back?
Tight ends.
Tight ends? Oh, well then, yeah, I would.
And Alec Ingold will be part of that.
Ingold
tight end
the
room.
third.
Considering we can throw to every one of our running backs,
less on the tight end room and go one man heavier on the running back room. I would take that.
That's
I'll take that.
Every one of them can catch.
So
Madison
let's keep it moving though, because I want to get to some of these other questions, and I know you want to talk about the Tyreek stuff, and then we're gonna drop the link because I want everyone to come up. Crypto finally got his wish. Guess who was doing punt returns?
Punt returns?
Yes. The wide receivers, the starting wideouts.
Tyreek.
Yes, the starting wideouts. Both Waddle was back there and Tyreek was back there.
Good.
Oh, Tyreek's playing now?
Yeah, he's
been. Yeah, no, he's definitely playing. He's definitely playing.
By the way, I just want to say.
Well, I know he had surgery.
He's been.
Fine.
He had that.
He's going to play through all his
February.
He's going. Unlike other players, not to be named.
I just want to say, for the record, just based on pure potential, and this is just a prediction. This is just potential.
Yeah.
I honestly think and believe already. I'm convinced that this is the best running back room we've had since Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams. I honestly believe that.
I agree with that.
I kind of agree.
Ronnie and Ricky is better.
Now, this is just based on what I believe of the potential.
Dude,
I don't know.
I would say
Patrick, hold on
a second color. Ricky and Ronnie, and wasn't Patrick Cobbs the third running back to that trio? I'm sorry.
Didn't we run him as a fullback?
We are nowhere close to how good those guys.
No, we're not close to that. We're not even up the Jay Ajayi backfield yet.
No. Remember, he said based on potential. He's talking about.
And I also said since that running back room. I didn't say better than. I said since that running back room.
Yeah, because remember when we
no,
had
you
Reggie
have to
Bush,
say since Jay Ajayi running back room.
No,
yeah, but Jay Ajayi was a one-man room, bro.
Yeah, you could say
that's all we needed. No one's giving us back-to-back 200-yard games.
I'm talking about like 2.5 Jay Ajayi. You know
Listen, Jay Ajayi is the Dolphins the way they were. They would beat up on the dregs and have all these numbers that averaged out really good, but it amounts to nothing.
No, he had 200 yards against the Bills. What do you mean beat up on the dregs? That game came in the snow against the Bills.
He had 2 or 3 of them. He had 2 or 3 200 yards.
Yeah.
I think he had one.
He had multiple 200-yard games back to back.
You know what? Fuck Jay Ajayi. Now that you guys are hard in the paint, now I hate Jay Ajayi.
They're the best. The best running back we've had since Mercury Morris and Jim
Jay Ajayi was a bum. Everybody knew it. They just
Jay Ajayi. That was the best running back room since Mercury Morris, Kick, and Zonka.
One man can never be.
They're the best.
Fuck out of here. How dare you, Crypto, with that bullshit.
They're the best since Larry Zonka.
All right, so let's continue the conversation, please. Speaking of punts, and I have to get confirmation of this because I believe the guy that was punting was not the punter that we signed this year from Tennessee. But whoever this kid was, he had some punts that, bro, it went the distance. There's no more 25-yard punts for us. We're punting, more than 50 yards, no problem. This kid had a hell of a leg a couple times from what I saw. So that actually was good.
And it was pretty humid out there.
Ali, you know his name?
Do I know who it was? No, I don't know who it was.
And Ali, it was pretty humid out there this morning too. Like the air was pretty thick, right?
Yeah, it was pretty thick. He had maybe one bad punt, but after out of the whole thing, it was one.
I mean, when you can get the distance in a thick, moist air, you got
I like that.
So that was really cool. Some other things real quick. And this is where I want to talk about Tyreek and what we saw from him today and how it leads into what El Cap wants to finish off with before we bring everybody up.
All right.
Tyreek Hill today had several passes in the drills that he caught it was in stride into the end zone, no problem. Right? Bombs from Tua. And in the scrimmage, it wasn't, in my opinion, that Tua wasn't looking for Tyreek because he's trying to avoid him and not throw him the ball.
Maybe
it was.
I just want to say I agree with Octane here. I was going to mention Reggie Bush room too.
He just wasn't open. That's why he's not getting balls thrown to him. And the one time he was open, he ran and caught the ball for a 60-yard pass, walks it into the end zone. You know what I mean?
Tyreek?
Yeah, Tyreek did that. So
Tyreek wasn't getting
thrown the
open
ball.
Tyreek had the clamps.
Even Tua was celebrating that he threw the bomb to Tyreek and Tyreek got it. He was celebrating like
Lewis is saying that was Jake Bailey.
That being said, my hot take for you is this whole sham that we believe that there's some type of beef between him and Tyreek, that he's yelling at him and he's pissy and it's all salty right now. No, I think it's just for show. This whole facade that they're trying to show that they have accountability because
exactly. They're trying to make.
I don't buy in it. I'm not buying the 40.
Crypto, they're contriving the idea that
there is not.
This is part of the culture. This is propaganda fodder for the culture.
That's just a different level of propaganda. That's what that is.
That's it, baby. Listen, I said the same.
They just graduated to the elite stage of propaganda.
But I'll tell you what, it is getting people in their feels. It is getting people in their feels. And let's listen in now.
Sorry, guys.
Everybody,
yeah, but even if it's propaganda, it's still relative to the Dolphins.
Yeah, but
sure, absolutely.
Meaning that the Dolphins always want you to buy.
That's
buying off for the banana tailpipe.
Lewis is saying it was Jake Bailey making the punt. I don't believe it was.
Then it's not propaganda.
What Crypto's saying is that's princely level propaganda. That's making him out to be a prince. You know what I mean? Like, I can discipline the guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but from the plays I was watching,
they're my army.
Open, bro. That's why they're not. They don't. If you're not open, they're not going to throw it to you.
Let's listen in what Tua has to say about the accountability. Listen in, everybody. Go on mute.
Here we go.
No doubt. I would say from that comment last year, it's not like only one person was going to hear that. Like, Cheetah had to have known that. Okay, if I'm saying this, I'm going to make sure the team knows. Mm-hmm. I'm going to make sure the quarterback knows. I'm going to make sure the fans know. I'm going to make sure everybody knows. Mm-hmm. The league knows. I'm going to keep everybody on notice when I make this comment. And could it have been in the heat of the moment? Sure, you could say that. But at the end of the day, it came out. And whether you portrayed it to be something different because you're a competitor or not, that's not up for you to decide. Mm-hmm. That's up for people in their own minds to create.
Real quick, I'm going to pause it right there.
For him to decide. It's his expression.
Right.
I had to pause it right there.
Bro, if I want to
say if you don't let the invasion of the body snatchers take you.
Hold on. If I want to say you're a garbage quarterback, you don't get to tell me what I feel about you as a quarterback.
Oh, talk about it, Color.
Right.
Talk about it,
exactly.
Color.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point.
He didn't really know what he was saying.
Hold up. Did you guys hear what he said though? This is why I
scripted accountability.
Let me tell you why I think it's odd, bro. Listen to what he said. Based on what I say, I don't care if you're a fan or who you are, if you whatever, and you heard it, right? That means he was purposely saying it so everybody could hear it. Why would you have to do that? Right? Because you were laughed at for not having accountability.
Right. And Ali, what Tua is basically saying is he don't know what he was saying. As if to say he was drunk or something. Like, he don't know what he was saying.
I'm telling you,
and then he lumped the whole team into it. He's like,
hold on a second. Who asked
he
the
don't
question?
know what he was saying.
It's the NFL. This is
I
NFL
think it was
Network. It's NFL
analyst,
Network.
yeah,
It was
one of
Cam-
the
it was Cam-
network.
It was
So
Cam's Wolf.
they're like, we're hearing the propaganda, but they're also asking for the propaganda.
Oh well, I mean, it's all pointed together. But listen to what Tua's saying, though. Listen to what he's saying.
Right.
That's not up for you to decide. That's up for people in their own minds to create that whatever they thought that meant for them, right? It came out.
Oh my gosh.
Listen. It's a fucking cult, boys. It's a fucking cult.
I hate
It's a
any
cult.
fucking
Listen
answer. Any answer like that is the word I fucking hate.
Let me make it easy for him to decide in his mind what I
Let
mean.
me help him. You
so
need to
stupid.
be
garbage quarterback.
You
What
need
the
to be.
fuck are you talking about, Tua?
Well,
What the
listen.
fuck?
Listen.
It's just
And why is he
stupid.
saying it
Don't
7
even-
months later?
It's like,
That's my whole thing. The amount of time that it's elapsed.
Yeah. All right.
Since the
Listen in.
statement.
Let's listen in again to how we got there. Listen in.
On notice when I make this.
Hold on.
When I make the fans know, I'm gonna make sure everybody knows. The league knows. I'm gonna keep everybody on notice when I make this. When I make this comment.
That's what he's
and
about.
Could it have been in the heat of the moment? Sure, you could say that. But at the end of the day, it came out. And whether you portrayed it to be something different because you're a competitor or not, that's not up for you to decide. That's up for people in their own minds to create that whatever they thought that meant for them, right?
He didn't get the memo.
He was being dismissive too.
Can't
It sounded like he was just being
explain
dismissive of what he's saying.
It doesn't even make sense.
Right, but
explain
the thing is,
yourself,
what he's
and you
really
don't
pissed
need
about
to.
is being left out. Tyreek didn't tell
He
him he
said-
was going to say that.
Yeah,
It's like,
he was being
you know what?
dismissive,
You know
caller
what?
too.
He
Same
was saying
time.
that he was saying Tyreek needed to broadcast it to all the important people that he was going to say something like that.
At this point,
Basically, yeah.
it's not even
You have
it's
to
not
consult
even
with
the
me if
players'
you want to
fault.
make this statement.
It's not even the players' faults when they give answers like this. It's the fucking people asking
Right.
questions
Yep.
so that they have it's like, why are you even asking him a question that brings up this topic? It's just like
Well, Crypto just
they ain't
nailed
got
it too.
nothing else to do.
Uh-huh.
They ain't got nothing else to do, and now it's like first you want to attack the Dolphins for their culture, but then you want to keep bringing up the shit that hurts them in reference to their culture.
Right, right.
Yep.
What was
Yep.
it, caller?
It's
You wanna
the pot
keep it
calling
going.
the
Hold
it's
on,
the
guys.
pot calling the kettle
What was it,
black.
caller?
Hold on, real quick, guys. El Cap, how many polls can you run at once?
One.
You one or
I
two?
think you can only do one at a time.
Yeah.
Okay, can you put up a poll?
All right.
The first poll I want up because when I just
On
dropped the
on
link and I'm
YouTube.
hoping people
Anybody
come up here.
watching anywhere else, you're only going to get this on YouTube. So
Yeah, so you
you
gotta
got to come over to YouTube
I want
to
Crypto
get in
to
the poll.
repeat
I want
what he
this
Go,
as
just
my
I'm
poll.
trying to
Hold
see
on,
what color was
everybody. Hold
talking
on.
about.
I want to hear. Listen, y'all can wait
I
on
want
what
this.
color was
I
talking
want this.
about. I want to
know
make
what
the
the
poll.
audience think of this. Right?
What is it? What's the question?
Is the beef a facade or is it real?
It's
Wait,
both.
I
It's
think
both.
I
Combination of
nailed
both. I
it.
was gonna say
You're
both
right,
too.
Tom. I think
Both.
you're right,
Or
Tom.
both.
It's both.
Or put
I was
both.
gonna say
Real
both. Yeah,
for Tua, and
Three
it's a
options.
facade for
Yes
Tyreek.
or both.
yeah.
I want to know
It's
what
like
the
Game of
audience thinks.
Thrones. It's like Game of Thrones. It's like fucking Littlefinger. How he
Tyreek is
fucking made
toying with
shit
him on a
happen.
whole nother level, bro. That's what it is, man.
Mm.
The fucking people asking questions, they're like Littlefinger on fucking Game of Thrones.
Little figure from Game of Thrones.
But Crypto, you just nailed it though, man, with what you said about I mean, I can't remember what you said.
Who was the guy that got galled? Who was galled?
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Yeah, they was kept talking over you, and I'm trying to figure out what you thought I said.
I was hoping you just remember what you had just said. It was the last thing you said, bro. You spot on.
Here it is right here. Is the beef real or fake between Tua and Reek? We have real beef, we have imitation beef, and we have both. Get it in. Poll is in chat.
Yes. I'm saying it's imitation beef that they're forcing down your throat because
Gross.
you're trying to show accountability.
Gross.
That's what I'm saying.
Something about needing
like
Tua's
the
approval before he spoke.
It's like the
Yeah,
fact that someone
You need
bringing
to.
up-
Yeah, exactly.
He
He's
had to
asking for
say,
permission.
what I said,
Ali-
what I said last season, this and that. It's like, man, we ain't trying to hear none of that shit anymore, dude. Like, don't even answer the question. Just if someone asked me a question that would lead to that, I just would ignore the question.
All right. Well,
But this is what I mean. This is what I mean. This is how it's facilitated in its actual because he's
what's the
allowing
poll?
himself to keep talking about it, so he's keeping it going too.
Yep.
Instead of
He's
just saying,
fanning the
stop with
flames.
the stupid fucking questions.
He's
Yeah,
fanning
he
the
could have did a
flames.
Bill Parcells and say next question.
That's what I would have done.
Or
That's what
he could have next question.
Nah,
There's nothing against the law by telling a reporter
he's
next question.
willingly throwing his teammate under the bus by being. We got to hold him accountable. We got to hold the NFL #1 player of the year voted by the players in 2023. And what? Because he was pissed off at the end of 2024, pissed off that his quarterback wasn't there, and when he was there, he only managed 6 wins and 5 losses. Fuck up out of here.
It's like it's so stupid,
Turn
man.
up.
It's such a
Tyreek felt some kind
finger
of way.
pointing. It's making it a finger pointing league.
It's a
sound like you just
looky
trying to
over
sound
here.
up.
The FGL.
Well, I can tell you when it
He was like,
No, the FPL.
It started that week when everybody lambasted Tyreek for dropping that one ball in the Buffalo game that Tua lost.
Oh,
But
every
that's when it
year,
started.
bro. Every year they find a new deity to sacrifice in lieu of Tua's accountability. Everyone's accountable except for Tua. Because Tua is the brand and Tua is the sell.
And the Dolphins
this
only
shit is going to be Kato Cole who's going to be a
The Dolphins only purchased 1 season of Tyreek glazing Tua.
That's it. Now, no, they purchased in the multiple year deal
on them too.
In the multiple year deal that the Dolphins struck with Tyreek Hill. They bought a glazing year and then a hang you out to dry year.
In there, bro.
Hey, think about it like this. The things that we've talked about on here and that we've argued about and stuff. That's like someone coming up, jumping on here and bringing up something that we talked about months and months ago to try to insinuate another argument.
Yeah, something that I wouldn't even recall or remember.
But what I'm saying is, if someone tried to do that, I'd be like, you know what? I see what you're trying to do, and I'm not gonna answer that question.
Yeah, you being a hoe.
It's not even
Fuck
worth
up out of
going
here.
down that road, regardless of even if I thought I was right and that person was wrong. It's just like I don't need. Like it's like, man, we don't
But
even
here's
need any of that.
let's listen to Tua's reasons. Let's continue on. I've rewinded it again so we can hear it up. But let's again just listen in.
That's gross.
Cheetah had to have known that. Okay, if I'm saying this, you know, I'm gonna make sure the team knows. I'm gonna make sure the quarterback knows. I'm gonna make sure the fans know. I'm gonna make sure everybody knows. The league knows. I'm gonna keep everybody on notice when I make this comment. And could it have been in the heat of the moment? Sure, you could say that. But at the end of the day, it came out.
It was. We had just
and
lost.
whether you portrayed it to be something different because you're a competitor or not, that's not up for you to decide. That's up for people in their own minds to create that, whatever they thought that meant for them, right? And so
what he's asking Tyreek to do is that every person that took it the wrong way, you got to go on a apology tour.
Apology tours,
and change the minds of everyone about words you said once.
If they perceived it wrong,
ago. It's clinical insanity to think that
why do you need to do it 8 months after the fact?
And how the fuck is any of that gonna get me more wins in a football game? None of that matters. None of it. Give me a guy that hates everybody as long as he's catching the football and putting up touchdowns and causing wins in games. I don't give a shit. I don't care what he's doing.
He don't need to apologize.
Did
Bill Parcells apologize to everybody on the Giants for chewing them out every week?
But why does he need to apologize, especially to the fans?
But you heard what Tua just said. It's everyone's bad perceptions.
but it sounded like he almost took offense to the question, the way he addressed it. I'm going to make sure this person knows and that person knows. You like it riled him up, and it's like, man, we don't need you riled up that way. We need you riled up.
But here's the thing, though.
We need you riled up for the Bills, bitch. Why don't you worry more about what the Bills are fucking saying about you, ho?
The Bills to make the playoffs, man.
You know.
Why don't you worry about what the fucking Bills are saying? Because you know what they're saying? They're saying y'all suck. You ain't shit. You's bitch.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, they're the ones that.
Well, you can't say that about me, and everybody that believed it. You need to go on an apology tour and say, listen, they weren't really bitches. They're actually really good guys.
Tua just agreed and signed a contract to be the new face of Burger King, and let me tell you why. Because they have the ultimate burger that is supposedly fake beef, right? That he just admitted that he serves fake beef. Why? Because think about it. You have an issue with a player. Why does he have to go tell the fans, the coaches, the NFL? Why does he have to bring them up? They don't have anything.
Well, hold on now.
Why did he have to
told the fans what he wanted the fans to know when he made the comment.
And why would you have to do that? Hold on. And why would you have to do that, Color? To show people you hold people accountable.
Right, but why would he have to apologize for what he felt at the time?
Ali, it's just like what you brought up earlier, a comment that you brought up.
Right, that was just for the moment, which he dismissed, Color.
Never apologized.
He dismissed it, Color. That's the problem. He's not going to apologize because Tua was dismissive of him.
But especially to the fans, why would Tyreek Hill apologize to the fans for the way he felt at the time?
Stainless J calling him out.
No, he shouldn't have to. That's ridiculous.
Says that was propaganda
ridiculous.
for Reason and Lewis to eat up. Damn. Propaganda for Lou and Reason to cry about.
Made it clear to the
wow.
Oh,
damn.
Shit. There's Lou. Shit.
He made it clear to the fans how he felt at the time. Why would he have to go back and apologize to the fans for the way he told them he felt?
Turn up.
It's definitely too late for that.
I don't know what the hell that comment means, by the way, but that's cute.
What's up, Lewis? How you doing, sir?
Ali, what's good?
Oh man, it's turn up time.
Yeah, it's turn
Saturday
up
night.
Let me ask you a question. and this a salute to all fellas, right? Feels like I'm back home here at TFTG. But the fact is, right? If Tua is not the one that says this comment, and again, I'm trying to gauge the panel, right? If Tua doesn't say it and anybody else, player of your choice of the Dolphins says it, does it make it better? And again, I'm just asking.
You mean if
not necessarily.
You mean if it was hold on. You mean if this was Jalen Waddle's interview?
No. Jalen Phillips. That's a good example because everybody called him a quitter.
I'm asking anybody. Let's say again, a guy for me like Jordan Brooks that I consider one of those guys as being a dog on this team, right? If he said the exact same thing Tua said a couple of days ago, I never heard this clip that you guys are playing. Shout out you guys for playing. I never heard it. I'm talking about the original comments about Tyreek, right?
Got you.
I forgot about that one. Yeah,
we got. Listen, he goes into way more depth. I got another minute and a half of this.
I never even heard that, Cap. To be honest with you,
I got you, dog. Got you back, man. That's the service we provide.
Absolutely. But I'm talking about, let's go back to the original comments from Tua, right? If Jordan Brooks says it, is it a big deal?
Are we talking about it like this? Not really, no. It's
I think people are thinking about the message, Lou. That's what I'm thinking everybody thinking about.
Well, I don't give a damn.
Well, I'm talking about his original comment.
No, wait.
It's the messenger in this
instance. Which one of those 53 guys it is, including the coaches. If you are upset with a player and you expect another player to go apologize to the fans for what he already told the fans he felt a couple months ago, no, I'm sorry. I got a problem with that if anybody does that.
I can see that point.
It would be really surprising for Jordan Phillips to do this, though.
For me though,
I would feel
Jalen
the same way.
Yeah, Jalen
nobody on that team to tell Tyreek that he needs to go apologize for the fans for telling them the way he felt 6 months ago.
Yeah, well, again, if I may, I don't think that's what Tua was saying, and for that matter, if anybody would say, I'm just saying, I think we're missing the fact. And again, I don't know how y'all feel. I don't know if y'all think that Tyreek quit or whatever. Just let me try to explain, at least for me, right? Because I think when we come out here, we all talk for ourselves. We give ourselves opinion. I like to put myself in every situation, right? Imagine this panel right here, and I can see it happening one day. All of us are out at the same bar, right? A bar fight breaks out, right? And I look, and while everybody on this panel is fighting, I'm sneaking my happy ass out the back door because there's 9 of us up here and we're fighting 22 guys in the bar, and I'm like, damn, we have no chance. This fight is over. I'm gonna let these other 8 gentlemen get their ass whooped.
I mean, if my artery is already bleeding out, I would hope you would let me run away.
Well, no. What I'm saying is, Color.
He's saying he's gonna leave us high and dry, dog.
I'm leaving y'all high and dry. The brawl starting, and I'm like, damn, there's 22 of them. There's 9 of us. I'm out of here because we're losing this fight, right?
Got you.
That's ultimately, and again, from how I'm.
Hey, Lewis, and then you come back to the neighborhood.
Hold on. I want to hear it. Hold up.
Can I finish?
I want to give.
Go ahead, Lou.
Wait.
Go ahead, Lou.
God damn it! Listen, Lou, finish, please, because I want to hear where you're going with this.
Yeah, I got a counter analogy.
Thank you. Right. That's all I'm asking. And again, I'm not asking y'all to agree. I'm just.
Of course you do, Color.
Right. So, if I'm sneaking out the back door, right, and then, a couple of weeks go by, whatever, month goes by, y'all see me, right? Are y'all gonna be pissed at me? Are y'all gonna be mad a little bit?
I'm gonna say, what the fuck, bro? You done left us.
Okay, cool. In a dog fight now, what I'm hearing is with the Jets, when he, in my opinion, when he left off that field and told people, "No, dog, I quit. I'm out." Everybody's
he was
excuse
hurt,
to
man,
me.
and I'll tell you.
Hold on, real quick. What people tell me is, well, the game was already over, Lou. Kansas City was losing. Again, he played all 18 games, Color. We can't use the excuse as week 18 with a quarter left.
I got you. Okay, can I give my counter analogy?
Again, hold on real quick.
All right. Let me know when you're completely done so I can counter analogy.
Y'all just admitted y'all would be mad at me. Cap said the first thing
he
said.
I would.
I definitely.
My answer was it depends on the circumstances.
So all I'm saying is when Tua made that initial comment, for me, the way I perceived that, right, was, hey, I'm not asking you every day to come in and out of this building and bow down and kiss the ring and apologize to us and the fans. And what I expect is, because what we know about Tyreek last year, right? Not only that week 18 when he quit on the team, walked off the field, he was reportedly late for meetings. He was late for training camps. And Ali, you go out to training camps last year. Color, you were out there. There was multiple times when we would be in through YouTube and on Twitter, and they would be like, damn, where the hell's Tyreek? And we're 45 minutes into practice. So what I'm saying is, no, with a comment like that, what I'm letting you is, again, you're the best player on the team. I'm admitting, right? Tyreek is the best player on the team. No questions asked. But the fact of the matter is, when you're the best player on the team, we expect you to give us the best Tyreek you can be. And showing up late to meetings, not giving it all at practice and showing up late to practice, and not, right, quitting on us. Because the next time we get on the field, the last time we remember looking at you, Tyreek, you quit on us. So from now moving forward, all I'm saying is, when I look at you, I better know that you're ready to go into these battles with us.
Okay. Hold on one second. Just 1 second. Lewis, after Color goes, I have a follow-up question for you. Go ahead,
Absolutely.
Color.
Okay. Absolutely.
So number one, the last point you made about quitting or whatever. Okay. That first of all, that wasn't the stuff we were just listening to. That's not what Tua was referring to him apologizing for. Let's just be clear on that.
I admit that. Absolutely. I didn't never hear that comment.
Here's my counter analogy to what you're saying, bro. and you have to let me get through this.
Wait a minute, Color. Hold on 1 second, Color.
Absolutely.
Hey, Nate,
hold up, everybody. Let Color finish. Go ahead, Color.
I know. We'll let him do it. I just need clarification. I just need clarification because a couple of people are going to go before I'm able to speak. I just need clarification so I can follow Color. That's all I'm asking, right?
Sure. What clarification do you need?
Color. Do you have any evidence that what Tua was talking about was not about him quitting and then saying, I'm out?
Well, from what I understood, he was talking about whatever.
Color, you can't do that because now you're setting up your narrative.
Don't talk to me, Big Nick, if you're going to do that to me, bro. You're either going to let me answer the damn question or you're not going to ask me one, bro. Period. End of story. I'm going to finish what I was saying to Lewis. So, Lewis, we can both agree that there's only one Tyreek Hill on our team, right?
Absolutely. I would agree.
We can agree that. Now, at that point in time, okay, based on the circumstances, I would apply this analogy. At some point during World War II, there became only one Ryan brother. And are you telling me that Private Ryan's sitting there curled up in a ball crying while everybody was fighting the battle because he was ordered to do that? You're telling me that makes him nobody you can be trustworthy of going into battle?
Wait a second, Color.
I'm making
was Tyreek ordered to leave?
Analogy. That's right.
Again, Color, I just want to.
There's only one Private Ryan, and there's only one Tyreek Hill.
Well, I'm
gotta
with you
protect
and
Tyreek Hill's privates.
I'm with you. I'm with you in point right there, Color. Right, there's only one. But I guess the question I would ask you, right, and I think Cap was asking the same thing. Do you mean like in that Jet game they told Tyreek to leave the field?
No, but I'm saying that if things were understood about the condition of Tyreek Hill's wrist that we don't know about, because we're not there with everybody on the field. I mean, I'm just saying that to answer your question about whether I would be pissed at the guy or whatever, not necessarily is all I'm saying.
Okay. I'm gonna go around because I'm gonna.
I don't know. I disagree. Again, and I'm just saying.
Both can be true. He quit based on the business.
And again,
he did quit. It could have been based on a different reason.
Yeah, I just have a question for you because I understand what you're saying, Lewis. Right. Would we be pissed at you if you dipped out? Yeah, I would be pissed. But here is the difference in this case, right? And this is why I'm starting to, why I personally, and this is just my opinion. I'm not forcing my opinion. I'm just telling you guys my opinion, right?
Absolutely.
I think that this is a kind of a facade to make up for the fact that there's all of these questions that we're having about accountability with our team. And the reason I think that is because of this. What transpired and happened was what, 6+ almost 7 months ago?
Absolutely. Right.
Why didn't you come out and have things to say then? Why did you wait till now at the beginning of training camp to finally say something?
Because he wasn't asking.
Hold on, real quick. Hold on. Why didn't you say anything at mini camps, OTAs, worked out days, all those days that you had that you could have said something? When they interviewed you at the draft, you could have said something. You didn't. It's almost like when people like get it, for example, and I hate to say this, but like when there's these cases where people have gotten had some type of what do I say, like domestic dispute of some kind, but they don't tell on somebody until like a year or two later.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's why I'm thinking I'm really questioning it. Now, just so you know, I don't condone stuff like that. But if it, in this case, it just feels like it's not genuine to me.
Well,
and here's the last thing I'll ask you, and then I'll let anybody else go. I just want your answer. Why does he have to go out and say that he's going to let the NFL, the fans, everybody know? Why doesn't he just go tell Tyreek? And if somebody asks him the question, I talked to Tyreek about it. That's all you need to know. That's it.
Exactly.
I don't, you know, I would say the same thing I told Color. This, like I told Cat, this is the first time I'm hearing this latest interview. Right now, when I heard
we got more of it.
Cat played, when I heard what Cat played, I disagree with that statement. Again, I'm talking about the original statement. And
but here's where now he's putting context on it, Lou.
And again, I don't like this second comment. But again, I'm just coming from the perspective, and I want to be clear. If anybody like quits with me, I mean, Color, you played football. I've heard you say.
I understand where you're coming from, Louis.
Cap, you played football, right? Cap, you're coaching kids now, right? Your own son.
Yeah,
bro, I don't respect no quitting. I'm sorry.
No, I listen.
I really
that's
do.
what I am.
Real quick, I want to be fair to Big Nick real quick. Can we clarify that this what we're listening to was him referencing comments that Tyreek Hill made about
I don't like this. I don't like this latest
back a couple months ago.
Right, it's referencing his comments.
Yeah, I don't like this latest.
He was only attacking the comments. Yes.
Real quick.
Yes, Color.
Real quick. I'm gonna come round and round with this.
Being fair to what we're listening to, as Big Nick points out. Is this what he was referring to? Was it comments that Tyreek Hill, the shade that Tyreek Hill was throwing on Tua a couple months ago, that Tua expects Tyreek to apologize to everybody for? Is that what we're talking about?
Let me. God damn.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I just want
you to know I'm trying to be.
Okay, all right. This is one thing I know about that situation, and I found this out from the media, right? From the media, not from Tua, not from nobody but the media. Rick, you done? Damn. Who said that? And how did I find that out from the media?
Jalen Waddle asked him.
Right. And how did the media find out Jalen Waddle asked him that question?
It was on a hot mic.
Media don't have that access right then. Media do not have that access, Color. Cut that out. Because Jalen Waddle told him what.
I see what you're saying. How did they come across the hot mic footage? Okay, I got you. Go ahead.
Because Jalen Waddle told them what happened, right? Now, my whole thing is, and as far as protecting him like he's Private Ryan, at any point, he's the $18 million man last year. Mm-hmm. At any point, he could have went to that organization because he's Tyreek Hill and said, look, I can't play. Tyreek suited up for all 17 games. And not only that, Stephen Ross paid this man $18 million for every available minute that he can play. At what point does he have to give back the remaining money that he was available to play that he didn't play, that he was already paid for? Third of all, I served in the military. I know what it's like to go to battle and train with your brothers nonstop, all for one goal, whether we achieve that goal or not. Why should I be the highest paid player on the team and walk off the field, and the guy that's not even probably making $1 million on the team or barely $1 million as is still out there on that field? And
I'll say this, Big Nick.
And you're gonna get
I'll
mad.
say this, Big Nick.
That's a very valid question.
Tyreek Hill should give back. Okay, go ahead.
Let me finish, right? And we're gonna seem like, to me, certain people, and I'm not putting the address on it, but if the mailman comes to your door, then goddamn it, take your package. Certain people only finds criticism in Tua. Nobody is willing to criticize Tyreek for quitting. And I love Tyreek. I'm so happy he's still on this team this year. Oh man, I'm hoping big things for Tyreek. But I'm able to criticize Tyreek. I'm able to say,
Big Nick, can I just say that? Can I just answer that?
Hold on, you can say it after I'm finished, Color.
I don't necessarily not believe he quit. I'm just not convinced he did yet.
Why you not convinced he did when his partner, his homie, his friend said, "Reek, you done?"
Because what Waddle asked him could be taken a lot of different ways in context when you talk about homies talking to each other.
And then 20 minutes later, Color, he stood in front of the microphone and said, "Fuck this, I'm out."
All right,
Color. Color, I understand by any means necessary is fuck Tua. But
no. I'll tell you this, Big Nick.
You realize there's 52 other players on that team.
You do a better job of convincing me he quit, and I'll be right with you scolding
Big
him
Nick,
for it.
you've got feedback like a motherfucker, dog. Like bad feedback. Like I can hear it's like an echo chamber on you. Every word. You come off the mic, I hear me.
I can hear like El Cap like 6 different ways of Sunday right now.
Yeah,
I'm not saying
I'm right. I'm all the way through.
He quit. I'm
I
saying
got
do a better job, and I'll scold him right along with you.
Big Nick, you might want to re-jump on or something. Listen, here's what I'm going to say, and I'm going to go round and round in a circle. I think Tyreek Hill should pay the Dolphins a half of a game of football and money for what he quit with. But I also think for all the time Tua couldn't be there, he should pay all that money back too. I don't like quitting and injured. To me, is the same result. You ain't out there giving me snaps, buddy. And it's to me for a guy who literally played hurt, and yeah, he had his shortcomings. And you know what? I blame that on the structure they have around there. You got a guy off not showing up to practice, not doing nothing, then you should sit him. But that's not what they did. They never sat him. They never got him under control. Cost Wes Welker his friggin' job. And that's on them to do that. But the reality is that he played with a hurt wrist all year. All year.
And he should be commended for that. Absolutely.
I'm not saying we don't scold him for that stuff. What's happening now isn't, oh, we've changed. What's happening now is that we're gonna run this man through the dirt.
Right, you guys are asking for the sunken cost fallacy after as soon as we knew there was no point in that game. Why would a guy that's been injured all year continue to play? That's
well, see that's where I got a problem though. If you suited up to play the game, I'm just under the impression.
I got you, but what if during the game he aggravated it?
Again, well, cool, but say that. Right, but that's not, again, from an optic standpoint. That's an assumption. It could have been, right. I'm not even going to debate if he was hurt, right. What I'm saying is the optics of, and what we heard was, no, I'm not going back. I quit. Basically, I'm out. See y'all later. Y'all do y'all thing. And again, from a go to battle standpoint, right. If I come on this panel, I'm riding with TFTG. It ain't gonna fucking matter. Right?
I get that.
Forget about this panel. In Twitter Spaces, I know we joke, we take our jabs, we joke within one another because that's the relationship we built. But at the end of the day, I'll be goddamned if someone says anything about El Capitan in front of me that I don't fucking like. Same thing with Color, same thing with Ali, same thing with Crypto. Even though I might jab y'all, even though we might argue, it's a difference.
Don't get out of turn.
I'm sorry, bro, for you to say I'm out on me and I'm on in those lines and we went to battle together. Nah, hell nah, bro. I'm sorry. And before we make it, hold on.
But he did it in the heat of the battle.
And again, I don't care about the heat of the battle. But and I'm not even trying to real quick. I'm not defending Tua. It could have been anybody else that's made this comment. I would have agreed with it. I would have made this comment. You see what I'm saying? Because that's how I feel.
Look, commenting on it is fine, and calling it out is fine. That's not what's happening here. And as you listen, that's not what's going on. On this latest clip, they're stoking, they're firing the flames that we're gonna. Tua's got this bitch by the fucking reins right now.
And Cap, and if you go back and listen to me and Tony when we talked about this same situation on our show, and this is the last thing I'll say, right? I'm only addressing that original comment, right? I've never asked Tyreek to come in after that and bow down and kiss the ring or do this or he owes anybody anything.
But if you listen to these comments now, what do you think now?
Cap, again, how many times I got to say it with these latest comments, I don't like it.
Wait till you hear the rest.
Well, again, when you go for the original comment, when people say, well, he shouldn't have said it. No, I'm sorry. That's where, for me, I disagree. I would have said it.
The reason I said he shouldn't have said it, the reason in the original is that why I said he shouldn't have said it is it should be kept internally and we should be keeping about business. And if you're a real team, you're protecting guys like that and you're protecting each other. Always take the higher, better, more mature ground in this type of situation. Tyreek Hill is being Tyreek Hill and acting like Tyreek Hill. The fact that he did this is not the surprise. Okay. And the reason I didn't like it is because it appeared to be something like we're now finding out. It is a fan-flamed narrative at this fucking point. And shout out to Brad Boss for the $15 donation.
I don't have a problem with the way you guys are responding. I really don't have a problem with the way you guys responded, because what you're saying was you guys said handle this shit in house, shut the fuck up, and handle it in house. I understand that, right? But also at the same time, I don't want to blame the reaction and say fuck the action. I don't want to do that either, right? Tyreek Hill need to be held accountable, and I can still fuck with Tyreek, but he needs to be held accountable. But Color, you said provide you a little bit more evidence that he quit. Tyreek Hill, man, every play that he's been on the Miami Dolphins, he's been a team captain. Himself said, I don't think I should be a captain. Now, what has he done more egregious last year to warrant him not being a captain for himself than quitting on the team? Wait.
First of all, let me just conclude, this little dialogue by saying that you and Lewis agreeing on something has almost got me convinced.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
The two asexuals are fucking sticking up for their boy. The two asexuals are sticking up for their boy right now. That's all that's going on.
Well, there's a case to be made that the earth is flat color. There's a case to be made that the earth is flat color. That's been a case that's made.
Hold on. I want to, Color, please hold on for me one second.
I might have to go back to the dark side. I'm agreeing with Big Nick. I might have to go back to the dark side.
I just wanted to finish.
Okay, hold on. You
want to know how you're wrong, Lou? You're agreeing with Nick.
This day going forward, goddammit.
Sorry, go ahead, Ali.
All of you, please. I want to read this super chat. The man paid $15. I'm going to give him the respect that he deserves. Yep. Imagine if Hill addressed how Tua injured himself last year and ruined the season. Even with his antics, Hill has been a warrior here. He chose not to have wrist surgery while Tua was sitting at home eating chips.
Well,
talk about it, Brad Boss. That's been my take.
Hold on. Tyreek did address it. Tyreek did address it.
That's a dunk.
What Tua expects him to apologize for.
But hold on, Color. You know what I respond to that $15 super chat? You know what I say to that, right? Well, also at the same time, nobody told goddamn Tyreek to be doing 200 miles an hour is McLaren getting slammed on the ground and fucking up his wrist.
Well,
that's how he injured his wrist?
No, that's not true. It was injured prior to that. It was injured before. He had a split
He had a spot on his ankle. He yelled out an injury that he had.
That's a lie, Big Nick. That's a goddamn lie.
No, he yelled out an injury during that arrest.
Yeah, he said, "Don't do that. I got a hurt wrist." To the cop.
Yeah, that I had some kind of surgery. Yeah, he yelled out a surgery that he had during that arrest.
Let that go.
There's like old times on the game right now.
There's a piece of paper.
This is
like old times.
To finish what I was saying, there's a piece of paper that cop has in his car. It's called a ticket. Okay, he could have written a ticket for the freaking speeding.
Absolutely.
You ain't got to throw the guy on the fucking ground, bro. I ain't gonna accept that.
Absolutely.
I would have gave him $1,000 fucking ticket and sent him on his dumbass way.
But all joking aside,
are you preaching that to me?
I'm not preaching
that to anybody.
I'm not preaching it to you.
I'm
I'm making a statement to the world.
Because I get a whole story.
Yeah, he could have used that ticket.
Story on how bad the cop was, but all I'm saying was, if we gonna keep it 100 and blame Tua for trying to make a play, hold on, listen. If we gonna keep it 100 and try to blame Tua for trying to make a football play, right? And you send $15 and say Tua got it while trying to make a football play for his team, and not bring out the fact that maybe if he wasn't speeding, and I don't agree with police brutality at all, but maybe if he wasn't speeding, he would have never been in that situation.
All right.
Well, let's listen both ways, man.
Let's listen to more of the video.
Let me just finish what I was saying earlier.
All right, go ahead. Everybody finish.
And I please just finish what I was saying earlier before I made the joke and everything blew up. All right. I just want to say that what Lewis was saying about not showing up to practice on time and all that, I did witness that in camp last year and all that. So maybe I do need to consider that part a little more.
Yeah, so, I think there's other frustrations coming out for sure.
I don't blame y'all for
that's administrative. That has nothing to do with the play on the field.
But I still don't think that's what Tua was addressing here. Tua was addressing his comments about Tua not being there for the team.
Right. Well, can I say something real quick? Hold on.
Go ahead, Lou.
To the last comment that was paid $15 to, I think it was Big Boss or whatever, and salute, right, for donating to the channel. Or Brad, right?
Yeah.
But when he said Tyreek never addressed, and again, I'm not trying to compare situations, but what I will say, for the people that have this argument that, well, Tua shouldn't have said nothing publicly because you don't say things publicly, because I've heard that, right? That people have made that comment. Well, I just want to. Do you remember when Tyreek went in front of the media and announced that when Tua gets in his feelings, this, that, and the third, he don't talk to Tyreek?
Talk to him
and
for
others,
a couple of weeks. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
For a couple of weeks.
That was a public statement. Yes.
Now that was a public statement, right? Now again, the same person that is saying Tua was right by saying whatever he said, right? I can keep that same energy, and I believe Tyreek was right by calling Tua out and basically saying, yo, homie, shit's gonna happen bad on a football field, this, that, and the third, but goddamn, bro, you got to get over it, right? Like, you can't just stop talking to me for a week. No one had a problem with those comments in the media.
Again,
no one.
No one had a problem when he didn't name.
I didn't, and listen, when Tua first said it at the podium, when Tua first said it at the podium about that, and it was brought into the light, and look, when Tyreek said that about him, I put the caveat, he shouldn't be saying this.
But why?
But also, I also said
though?
What? Well, because listen, if you want to be a good team organization, all that shit's got to be internal.
No, Cap, real quick. Let me stop you right there, right? Let me stop you right there. The Philadelphia Eagles this season, before they won the Super Bowl, A.J. Brown called out publicly Jalen Hurts. Said he was horrible at throwing. No. That's what I'm saying, Cap. No one had a problem with it. You know why? Because they overcame that shit. They put their big boy pants on, right? They got to work, and they won the fucking Super Bowl.
Right, but you didn't hear Jalen Hurts come out and expect him to apologize to the fans.
And again, and Color, again, we're going back to this video, and I'm saying again for the 5th time, I haven't heard this video, and I don't like this video.
That's kind of where we bring ourselves where we're at. Because it was one thing to call it out and talk about it. It's another now where he's given his.
I'm talking about, Cap, how we got to here.
Yes,
I didn't know about this video.
Tyreek Hill being an asshole, got his comeuppance. Teams, the quarterback going to call it out and mention it. Fine, that's it. We're talking about this whole new vibe, whatever.
Hey, Cap, who was it that didn't mention their quarterbacks? Who was it that didn't mention their quarterback in the top 5? Who was it?
I mean,
publicly.
That's true, but.
Yeah, but I don't believe that's disrespect. I don't believe that's disrespect.
Let's get to Brad Boss's comment. Who's
hold on, Lou. You don't believe that disrespect. But let me show you the difference.
He didn't mention him in the top 5.
All right, hold up. Go ahead, Big Nick. Go ahead, Big Nick.
Whether you believe that disrespect or not, I remember arguably the 3rd greatest receiver in NFL history crying on television about fucking Tony Romo. Whether he believes that Tua is in the top 3 or not, that was him protecting his
quarterback. He was protecting his quarterback, bro, and he.
I understand that, but I'm just saying, whether he believes it or not, that's what you do.
Really I don't think Tyreek. Whatever. We can get all that. Brad Boss says, address the revisionist history. Remember, Tua did not play the last 2 games. Keep it real. He had a bum hip and chose not to play while his teammates were there fighting for a chance to get the playoffs. He's fucking right. Those last weeks, Tua said they blamed his hip.
And we roasted Tua for that.
And we roasted him that he's sitting out while the team is out here trying to get in the playoffs. And Tua could have been, it's too bad the Dolphins lost the game because Tua could have came and played in the playoffs. That's what they said. That was a fact.
Well, they thought we was going to be able to skate. We got away with the Browns game, but we didn't skate by the Jets.
Well,
that was the problem.
That's it. Cap is right about it needing to be internal because this is why. This is what Tua should have said. And when I say what Tua should have said, you're going to realize why this whole thing should have been internal. Because what Tua should have said was, look, I was offended by him saying that about me quitting on the team and not being there for the team.
I was mad that he called me out.
He could have just said, I was offended by Tyreek not finishing that game. And Tyreek should apologize to everybody for not finishing that game. That's what I believe. That's what Tua should have told everybody.
Well, let's listen to what Tua said in the final minute of this right now.
He's not going to name drop him like that, Color.
Listen in. Listen.
That's how you
let's
know
listen.
it should have been kept eternal.
Listen in.
They thought that meant for them, right? And so, just like anybody else, like, yeah, of course, Cheetah's a great player, phenomenal player. But in the locker room, that's where everything, the nitty gritty, the relationships, the hard conversations, like that's where you build each other up. That's why you kind of work on each other as well. You have those conversations there, and so Reek is going through his own phase of who he wants to become as a man in this league, who he wants to become as a father for his kids. And I said this in the previous interview, it's never too late for anybody to want to change, man. Like, regardless of what that looks like for them, that's their stepping stone, that's their journey, and that's what it is. And we're still continuing to build that relationship. But if that happened maybe 3 years ago, I can understand what you're saying. I probably wouldn't have, because in my mind, I'm like, I don't want to be talking bad about somebody or, because I wouldn't want that done to me. But I don't feel it's me talking bad about my teammate. Kind of what you said. I'm just trying to hold him accountable because that's what we're trying to do with everybody on our team. And if this is what we say the standard is, then that's what the standard is. And nobody's exempt from it.
Nobody's exempt from the standard that Tua's going to hold people accountable for.
I'm sorry, but I got to say this real quick. Did Tua kind of like
have a little Freudian slip there?
He kind of, he did. And he also kind of tried to bitch up Tyreek, saying what kind of man you want to be. He's talking to him like a child, bro.
Patronizing the shit out of him, bro.
He's patronizing.
Fuck. What the fuck? Oh my God,
I didn't catch that part, Ali. Yeah.
Chris, or I'm sorry, El Cap. What is the poll? What was the result
of
the
poll? Did they believe it's fake meat? It ended with 56% of the vote, and then the other two had like 12% for both. So overwhelmingly, they think it's
like fake beef to me, man. He's serving up
overwhelmingly.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, Tua, have your marketing people call me. We'll hook you up with Burger King. You can really serve fake beef.
Listen, fake beef
Damn. So is it
can be served up. The problem with serving up fake beef
what is that vegetarian
it could
beef?
eventually. It could eventually become real beef because people have feelings.
It's vegetarian beef is what it was.
As well as Joe Wrist.
There's
not
no way
real. It's veggie beef.
What up, guys?
There's no way I would ever bring fake beef to like
this
to
is why.
To El Cap.
I'm sorry, Tunk. I only got 7%. But this is
all
why.
Right, go ahead, Pete.
There's Pete again with his low percentages.
You guys having me up, but look, check this out. This is why sometimes you got to hear things 2 times. After hearing it again here on you guys' show and listening to Tua speak, is he not oozing with confidence right now?
Yeah, I would say so. He's got he's big dick in the locker room. That's how he's opted. He's big dick in the locker room.
Hold on.
He's right. He's right.
Hold on. Pete, if you may not have known this, but I have breaking news.
TFTG Network
breaking news. And this came out maybe just a couple minutes ago. Worldwide Sports Insider Dov Kleiman posted the Miami Dolphins may have gotten the draft's biggest steal with Ewers. And then he shows a video of the amazing Ewers pass that he made today. What do you think of that?
Hold on, Joe.
Confidence now.
The hell?
Ali, is that the
confidence
pass that was on the
sideline
near the
along the sideline? Yes.
Wow,
yes.
Joe was up there for an hour trying to convince me that wasn't a big boy throw.
I'm sorry, Dov.
I'm convinced we're officially cursed.
It's
like when Calter was giving us praises early in the season, and then next thing you know,
The candy ass
We
throw.
freaking going in tank.
Candy ass throw.
It's a kiss of death.
Hey,
But
did
you
He
guys
turned
don't feel like
a
Tua was
catch that
talking
would have had
confident?
maybe 5 to 10 yards after because the safeties were playing way too deep, and he throws his candy ass rainbow throw, and it barely gets a catch by the time he's at the sideline.
Considering Ali
Tua was
referred to
oozing
him as
with
Skylar
confidence,
Thompson
guys.
earlier,
That's
we
what I
can
wanted to
imagine
say.
how good the throw was.
I'm
Have a good
just
night,
saying,
Tyler. Nice
I
hearing
think
you
the guy had, he had some impressive throws today that I got to see in person. And also on top of it, Zach Wilson looked halfway decent for me too. So all I'm saying is I'm comfortable with who's behind Tua. That's all I'm saying. So you can hate me for what it is, but those are the facts.
It's
you know
a kiss
what?
of death,
Great.
fellas.
We're
finished. We'll probably win one game this year.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about that. I will say this. To me, I agree with Pete. Tua is, but he's always been confident this time of year. He's always super confident because the organization overwhelmingly believes in him and believes in the product Tagovailoa for their team for a multitude of reasons, not just because they think he can win football, but because of all the marketing aspects of him as their quarterback and the way in which, look, this controversy that is self-made, and you could say the origins are self-made of it from Tyreek Hill not showing up to practice, Tyreek Hill quitting on them, but it's self-continued by this organization. That's it. This is a literal homegrown problem that they're all talking about, but what the fuck's really getting done?
It's not like it's not like the organization hasn't normalized Tua's failures too and given him 1,000 chances. What the hell's the difference?
That's just it. They've never addressed Tua's failures in a way that makes any sense. It's always about, he's got to do what's best for the team and quit on plays.
On the kettle iron, dude. What the fuck?
I've said it a million times. It's the pot calling the kettle black. The message for the last 3 years is that Tua is such a selfless, great guy that what we really need him to do is not extend plays and throw the ball away, and he needs to be more aware and be more selfless for the team's sake. That is the most incredible, unlearnable, uncoachable skill I would ever ask any athlete to have.
And you think
it's fucking ridiculous. He needs to stop trying so hard. That's his only flaw. Are you fucking kidding me? You think I don't see through your bullshit?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Do you think?
Yeah, go ahead.
It needs to be more of a statue this year.
Hold on. Go ahead, Mr.
In order to
Holt, with the
survive.
question.
Okay, do you think the new attitude that McDaniel's is having is part of what Tua is doing also? McDaniel's trying to get away from being considered a soft head coach, and I'm going to be strict now.
And I think they've collectively decided the example they're going to show the world. They've collectively decided the example they're going to show the world that Tua, that Mike McDaniel, that the Miami Dolphins are now a tough culture individual. Their example will be the head of Tyreek Hill.
That just
the head of Tyreek Hill.
I'm going to say this real quick, LCAP. The bottom line is this. Because you had to say that just proves that this was fake beef all over again. Because the reality of it is this.
Wait a minute, what makes you say that?
Let me explain why. Because of the fact of how you were when you got here, when you became the head coach, and we'll use Tua as an example. When he got drafted number 5 overall, why wasn't he like this day 1? Or year 2?
I'll tell you
or
why,
year
Ollie.
3?
Now.
Or year 4? Right?
It just
Why
occurred to
couldn't
me
he be
why.
that way? I'll tell you why. Because this isn't who he is. So who the hell, if a player can't take you serious because you weren't this way from day 1, How are the fans to take you serious? So I'm telling you straight up,
because life is a pageant.
They're trying to force it down your throat to say, we have accountability. Guess what? You're a joke. That's what it is. This whole thing is an effing joke.
What you just said was hit it right on the head, Ali, and it just occurred to me what's going on here. Okay, you basically what is happening, what you're talking about, Ali, is belief. Okay, if Tyreek does not believe in Tua anymore, okay, then that is ultimately what Tyreek Hill was saying when he made the comments he did months ago, right? And that's what Tua is expecting him to apologize for. Well, if Tua is saying, hey, my belief in Tyreek is damaged because of this quitting thing, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you've got two players, teammates that don't believe in each other, which means they're not just going to all of a sudden, after working with each other for 3 or 4 seasons, if they've lost belief in each other, they're not going to gain it. You only gain belief if you didn't have it to begin with, and over time you gain it. You don't gain it back when you've already had it for 4 seasons and then lose it. So, if that is systemic throughout the whole team and the organization as far as the lack of belief in one or both of these players, and one of those players includes Tua, then it would behoove Tua to project out to the world an air of, look, I'm the leader here and I'm holding this guy accountable and he's just hard to deal with and he's making it difficult for me so that when I go apply for my next job, I can throw everybody under the bus behind closed doors.
That's like getting people to believe in the tooth fairy and the Easter bunny color.
Another thing, I'm sorry. Another thing, color, I was thinking about this and it's just, I cannot wrap my head around it. Why the fuck is Tua talking about Tyreek's kids and family?
Talking about what kind of man he's gonna be. That's crossing the line, dog.
He's saying no, but what he's doing is he's saying,
no. Listen. I'm gonna use this as an example. Let's say me or Lewis or me and El Capitan, right? Or even this one's more believable. What if me and JC or one of these fucking Bill fans come up here and me and him are getting into a fight, and he brings up my family? Who gives him the fucking right to bring up my kids?
Again, he's leveraging his position to say to other teams, look, I can make your players better. I can be a leader for your young players coming in.
Listen,
you're assuming he's campaigning for his next job,
Tyreek Hill.
No, he's talking about his resume though. It's one more feather in his cap.
He's campaigning for the next job.
But is he campaigning for the next job? I don't know. But one most certainly is the resume is being
likes
built.
of Tyreek Hill, I can patronize all your young rookies too.
Damn.
I don't know if that's going to be a successful campaign for his next job.
If Tua wants to really bring up people's families and children, he can go play Dr. Phil on network TV or be the next Murray and find out who the real father is, right? He can go do that elsewhere, right? I don't need him here.
I mean, otherwise, if Tyreek is the guy on the outs,
if this was real beef about him being upset that he quit on the team, it would be strictly about football. It wouldn't be about family or children and it's other bullshit, right?
Well, it's about feelings. They're in their feelings.
Ali, if Tyreek is the one that's, but Tyreek, consider this: if Tyreek is the one on the outs, then Tua is literally ruining his chances of playing for another team.
That's why I said it's going to be a failed campaign, color.
He's fucking with
starting off on a.
If that's the case.
And so after Tyreek Hill, I don't know if that's wise. I don't know if that's wise, color.
After Tyreek Hill pumped him up for 2 seasons to get him paid.
That's the
Tua
thing.
is now throwing him to the wolves, saying, "Oh, this is a problem player."
I'm glad you said that, color.
And trapping him in Miami.
Tyreek has pumped up.
He's got a bad strategist. He needs a new campaign strategist.
He helped build up his resume, helped create a stamp of approval of notoriety in the NFL.
Diminish the
and now,
value
but
of
hold on,
Tyreek
Color.
Hill.
Now, isn't this just the next thing in Tyreek Hill's job description?
No. What to be?
Yes,
to
it is.
Value yourself.
What?
It's another way in which all this have done is deflect off of the
bro.
real.
That's
Listen,
straight cut
rather
if
than
that's
talk.
the
Well,
case.
I'll
That's
tell you.
ridiculous. Cap, you can't say that, Cap. That's ridiculous.
Rather than us talk about the real reasons we had shortcomings in 2024, we're talking about feelings and making people have a good word, rather than talking about the shortcomings that really happened.
Like that, bro. There is no way.
And that's to me.
Nobody wants to point
I'm
the
telling you
finger.
right now, Tyreek Hill getting paid, dog. Tyreek Hill's. You buy the surfaces of a lot.
Our organization practically puts a banner out to the rest of the league saying, "Come here." There's no accountability, and now
they did that, though. Yes.
Look who it is. Look,
it's on the stadium.
I know. I see. Salute to you, EM. Thank you for coming through.
It's in the stadium.
Look else the cat drug in. Oh no. Look.
Look at this guy.
I know he's already.
He's coming to give us an update on Eichenberg.
Slander. His butt hairs must have tickled when he heard Tua slander. And
no, he's giving us an update on Eichenberg.
You can tell. Comment on this real quick.
Jermaine says that Tua is a professional. He doesn't beat women, old men, and he's not sticking his willy in every.
Maybe he ought to try it.
First of all,
all right, touche, Jermaine.
What he's done, right? Go after him for football.
There you go.
Ghost.
I tell you what, Jermaine, real quick.
Put a wrench on it.
No.
Quick. If Tua goes out and beats women and old people and impregnates a whole bunch of women, but he does all this year, but come the end of the year and we're looking back on it and we're ranking him the best player in all of the NFL in 2025. I'll take that and terrible character flaws that he has for all those reasons if he's number one ranked best player in the NFL in 2025 on the NFL's top 100. I would take it.
You know what else though? The other guy, the opposite of what Jermaine's describing, that's precisely the guy you got to watch out for, because that's the guy that's going to do it all in one shot.
Yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy that wears that masochism mask and does weird stuff behind closed doors.
That's the one that out on a whole room of people. You know,
there's etiquette. There's etiquette to these things, right? Even here, there's certain subjects we just don't breach because we know it's going too far, right? Even in the workplace, they say don't talk about religion or politics or whatever because everybody has thoughts like everybody having an asshole. Everybody has one, right? Well, here's the reality. This guy breached it by bringing up his children and his family. Right. I'm sorry. You don't talk about it.
Yeah, you can't be talking about
football. Talk about the fact that he quit on the team. Fine. Talk about how he dropped passes. Right? Fine.
Tyreek never insulted anybody's religion.
Ali, let me give you an example.
Tyreek said it.
Damn, Tua ain't got the balls to. This is what it is. Tua ain't got the balls to come up and talk to Tyreek. So we got to do it with a go-between in the fucking media and shit. That's the reality of it.
I don't recall Tyreek insulting anybody's religion.
The two in ears.
He's calling all his Tua sexuals. Their cheeks are clapping like this. They can hear them coming. There they go. They're fucking ready to. They're ready to throw Tyreek Hill to the fire in the sacrifice.
Hey, Ali, you made a great point because it would be like if you told us all that you're going into a new career and you took another job.
They applaud with their cheeks.
Career path.
I forget.
Hold on. Let me finish.
That's a crazy thought.
You told us all you're taking a different career path and trying something new, right?
Yeah.
That would be like me having a show telling everybody, all he needs to do right by his kids. This ain't necessarily the greatest thing for him to do, because he needs to continue to do right by his wife and his kids and,
dude,
and all that. Like,
good way to get your ass whipped.
That shit.
That is insane. Yeah, that will. Yeah.
Here's the other part of it.
Doing right by his kids have to do with stuff on the field.
This is the part that the Tua sexuals aren't thinking of, right? And somebody said it in chat. You think about it. the NFL is supposed to be like a brotherhood, right? Everybody is friends with everybody and whatnot. And it's almost like silent recruiting when you're trying to make these network connections with everyone, right? Now that they know that he's willing to blast people and talk about people's families and what kind of man you are, do you think if I'm a player that was thinking, oh, maybe I'll go to Miami, I don't want to go to Miami. Tua might put me on blast.
That brotherhood.
Yeah, I can't wait to have Tua talk shit on me and my family.
That brotherhood is what validates the Private Ryan analogy. If it was a brotherhood, they can all understand Tyreek being done at that moment.
Yeah, and that's the thing, though. Now that he's put that out there, that he's willing to go ahead and do this like that, I'm telling you, goodbye anybody that you think really wants to come here. Because if they are coming here, it's because we're going to pay a shit ton of money. That's the only reason.
Well, let me ask y'all this: has Tyreek said anything about Tua's children and family?
They'll be like Cuba Gooding Jr.
He never went out and said, if Tua would stick his dick in something a little more often, he might play better on the field.
Or how about how he got his wife pregnant before they were married?
No, but Ali, Tua is a monogamous, a devout Christian and monogamous. So it would be like Tyreek, you know what? Tua would play better if he would learn how to stick his dick in more than his wife.
At one point they used to think that Tiger Woods was
Sometimes
a devout.
Tyreek probably need to say stuff like that.
Yeah. Remember how much everybody loved Bill Cosby till they found out he was doping girls down.
They also thought he was
Bill Cosby.
He was a good driver too.
Yeah,
exactly.
They used to say Tiger Woods was like the role model of all
poster child. Boy, motherfucker was.
He was the pole model.
Swinging that wood.
Yeah, he was. He was at the. Hey, you know what's crazy too about that Tiger Woods shit? I don't know if you guys caught it when Howard Stern had all those chicks on and they did like a beauty competition between them. It was brilliant. They had tons of money behind it, and he did the interviews with them, and. I think there was 4 women that showed up. There was, I think, a total of like 19, but these weren't just like women he cheated on with. He had like these relations. Like one of them was his girlfriend. She didn't know he was married, and every woman that he fucking was with, he was like a completely different person with each of them. And like their relation, like in this one, he was in this relationship with this woman, he was very assertive, very aggressive, super manly.
He's married. How do you not know that? That's what's crazy.
I get it. I'm just telling you.
Like a beta, he's like,
And then another relationship, he's like, he's all
one thing and
yes.
They don't care about anything else.
No, he just again, he was a complicated man to say the least.
I think he was like a biker badass in one of them.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it was one of the most craziest tales of this guy.
Multiple personalities,
Yes, I mean, yes. Some of them were saying like sexually he was super, sensitive and coy and like very insecure. The other ones, he's like doing the nastiest shit you can imagine. Like it made no sense how he treated these people.
Each one of them might not have been aware of the other one.
No, it makes perfect sense. No, think about it like this. The one chick he fucks the shit out of, and the one chick he says, I don't like to have sex. So
Ali, I've got it pinned. Who's posting the link?
Oh, I don't have sex.
I've got it pinned. I put it in private chat. I've got it pinned.
All that time. I'm sorry, man. I apologize.
Again, and I seen Jermaine's comment earlier. You guys are standing up for him. Tyreek Hill did this in 18. He beat his pregnant girlfriend. Listen, he brought here. I'm not a judge. I'm not a cop.
Right. He was vetted by the Dolphins after that.
I'm not involved in litigation. I don't care what I do care what a person does in their personal time. In some degree, because I don't want association with them. I'm not working with Tyreek.
But Cap, didn't the Miami Dolphins vet that?
Yes, they did. They
that
already
was litigated.
All of these. Listen, if any of the reasons people want to,
they can't bring it up after the fact
down,
now.
But
as a Miami
all
Dolphins
of these reasons that they want to point out. If they want to fire him for those reasons, fine. But they've been more than happy to not just bring him in, but pay him tons and tons of money with all of those things in his potential background. And that's the way it is. I can only judge it on that. If we're gonna say I need a fucking bunch of choir boys as my football team, I gotta be honest. I don't feel like I'm gonna win a lot of football. I need a guy that's got. I need a fucking Tiger Woods screw loose kind of guy on the field.
15 forever.
You know, I need a Ray Lewis that's fucking just a psychopath.
Well,
I mean, say what you want, Ray Lewis, preacher, all this stuff.
I mean, you can make it work with choir boys, but you know,
is he a case of woke, right?
Teacher, that's what I want.
you don't have to be a bunch of criminals and thugs, but you can still make it work.
Exactly. There's a mixed bag here. I got
the right wing woke.
Look at the Gators when they had Tim Tebow. They had Tim Tebow, this bright shining
how much
pinnacle
mileage
of, like,
did they get out of him?
you know, a small town kid, and church goody two shoes virgin, the whole nines, and then they've got a literal serial killer on their fucking team, and that's the type of duality you're gonna need to have a damn good football organization. That's it.
Is that what we're doing?
No, I was talking about Tim Tebow and the Gators. Here's
Yeah,
Tim
the Patriots, I was
Tebow,
gonna say, the
literal fucking virgin, and here's Aaron Hernandez, literal serial killer on the same team.
On the same team at the same time.
On the same team, baby. Life has to have balance.
You got ukulele Tua and dirtball.
No,
Tyreek.
he killed a couple people.
Oh,
Can I talk about serial killers for a second, real quick?
Sure, yeah, let's go ahead.
I want to talk
Robert-
about something. So, Mika Fitzpatrick, right? I shared that picture with you, Chris, or El Cap. I'm sorry. And I also they've been talking about him, saying that he's very soft spoken. You know what I mean? And he's a different person on the field. Does he have some serial killer vibes? Does he give you that kind of vibe?
He does look a little bit, something behind the eyes.
Well, it's
there.
normally always the quiet ones that tend to be.
Real quick, I don't know who Eric Dirty Sanchez is, but he says fuck the Dolphins.
Right.
I mean, yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Take a number, stand in line.
That's Eric. That's Eric. Eric, dirty butthole Sanchez in here saying fuck the Dolphins.
The serial killer is likely to be the guy.
That ain't nothing but a Jets fan right there. I know a Jets fan when I see one. That's a Jets fan, dog.
Is he confessing to the molestation of Porpoise?
Of porpoises? Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, but you know what? Porpoise.
He's giving Porpoise Dirty Sanchez's.
Norway Tucker
He's an animal
confession.
lover.
Yeah, but what goes around comes around for porpoises, bro. That's all I'm saying, man.
Gross.
Ollie, how do you
They
do the
ain't
virtual
got no
background?
room to talk, man. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what you're right. Them little fucking rapey bastards.
Hold up. Joe Rist, what did you say? What did you say? Joe?
Oh, he's a Carolina Panthers. Hey, I might be going to that Carolina game, Dirty Sanchez.
Oh, I wonder if that.
You're a Panthers fan, bro. Listen, we got Tua problems. You got the worst quarterback I've ever seen come out. It must suck to be a Panthers fan. You tank, you lose your coach, and you guys select what's that fucking midget's name? Who's that? Who's
Bryce
that
Young?
the guy that goes up? That's been going up on Pete's panels. He goes by a different.
I don't know.
name, but he's a Panthers fan.
I don't know.
No, that's Tri-State.
His name.
Yeah, that's Tri-State. That's Tri-State.
His
name's Tri-State.
That's Tri-State.
Yeah,
that might be Tri-State.
What's that? What's the
But yeah, he
Panthers
goes by
quarterback
his
name?
original name.
God, that
Tri-State.
guy's terrible.
I don't think that's Tri-State. I think Tri-State showed his picture a couple times, and
Yeah, that's a different guy.
that's not
Yeah, but
Tri-State.
he might have
Tri-State.
accidentally logged out of his that.
Nah, fuck all that. Fuck all that. Panthers.
Fuck the Panthers.
Yeah, well, that quarterback from Alabama that they got, that's the second worst quarterback I've ever seen come out of Alabama in the NFL. Or no, it's Tua's the second. He's the first.
Oh, no, I think
listen. What a hype train of nonsense that kid is.
Damn, Dolphins and Carolina got Alabama quarterbacks. This is insane. Jesus.
I think good in the pocket.
Where'd Ali go? I was curious. How do you get the video virtual background?
Yeah, so I use a program. I can put it in private chat for you. Does
it have to be like a paid StreamYard account?
No, not at all. The program's free. You can download it. I will put it in private chat for you. So,
what background for your avatar? You can do that.
Ali impression.
Yeah, Bryce Young. That's his friggin' name.
I'm gonna do my Ali impression, but I don't have the virtual background.
Let's see it. See if we get it.
I don't have the shirt either.
Yeah, get the shirt and then we'll get to your background.
Background.
I don't have like a goofy shirt like that. I got one that's like maybe like a tribal pattern. That's close, maybe.
This shirt,
like my I Heart BJ shirt on.
Cool NFL, bro. This is
got a BJ subscription
on it. This is old school. You can't find this anywhere.
That shit's tight.
Yeah, that is a cool shirt.
I would
now you got to get a subscription for BJ's.
I put it in private chat for you, by the way.
Thanks, man. That's pretty cool. And video. Oh.
Yeah, so you just download that program, and then you can take
in private chat.
McDaniel sunglasses.
In pictures, you can put you can put video, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to think when we're circling back to this Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle nonsense, or excuse me, Tyreek Hill, Tua Tagovailoa. Man, the drinks are catching up. Nonsense. we got to think about this shit. Just listen to what he's saying here, because it was once for the call out, 2 for the dunk on the family.
That like Cheetah had to have known that. Okay, if I'm saying this, I'm gonna make sure the team knows. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna make sure the quarterback knows. I'm gonna make sure the fans know. I'm gonna make sure everybody knows. Mm-hmm. The league knows. I'm gonna keep everybody on notice when I make this comment. And could it have been in the heat of the moment? Sure, you could say that. But at the end of the day, it came out. And whether you portrayed it to be something different because you're a competitor or not, that's not up for you to decide. Mm-hmm. That's up for people in their own minds to create that, whatever they thought that meant for them, right? And so this
is wild, dude. Again,
he took too long to answer that question. Like he should have just given a quick thing and moved on.
But he's got a soliloquy on this. He's got a take on it, and his take is that
I don't mind him answering,
you got to do all this and be better, and got to understand. You got to change all. You got to manipulate the minds. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro?
You know, one thing we didn't even consider, right? If he's really beefing with him, right? If there's real beef. When I'm pissed, I don't call people by their fun nickname. I call them their actual name so they know I'm fucking talking to them. He keeps calling them Cheetah. If he's really
Cheetah, calling him Cheetah is clowning on him, dog. I take it the other way.
You take it the
clowning
other way?
on his ass. He clowning him.
I agree with you, Ollie. I agree. There's a lot you can read on like body language or how they.
You trying to say everybody clowns on Tyreek?
No, but I say when he's
Tyreek
referring to him as Cheetah. I got you, but when he's like Cheetah, I don't know. It just to me it seems a little fucking.
I know. It's like it feels like he's addressing him like he's his pimp or something. Yeah,
you're talking about a serious matter, and he's calling him Cheetah, and how he's handling it. How he's handling it is so laissez-faire, as if we've already talked, and Cheetah understands that my boots are down here to kiss.
Damn,
that's what it is.
Pops. Tyreek will be in the Hall of Fame, and Tua will be in a CTE program. Holy shit. That's hard.
All right, let's listen to the rest.
It's like anybody else. Like, yeah, of course, Cheetah's a great player, phenomenal player. But in the locker room, that's where everything, the nitty-gritty, the relationships, the hard conversations, like that's where you build each other up. That's why you kind of work on each other as well. You have those conversations there, and so Reek is going through his own phase of who he wants to become as a man in this league, who he wants to become as a father for his kids. And I said this in the previous interview, it's never too late for anybody to want to change, man. Like, regardless of what that looks like for them, that's their stepping stone, that's their journey, and that's what it is.
Dude, I gotta be honest. Everything he said right there, it sounds to me like join us, come. It's some Invasion of the Body Snatcher type cult talk. You're talking about what he needs. Telling me the truth that it was the heat of the moment or anything, that's not the goal. is to be honest. It's not about being honest. It's about perspectives. It's about perceptions. It's about understanding. And if you want to be the best man and the best father you can be, you got to get on board. You got to get on board and drink this drink that you can buy here for $19.99 every month. You can have your reward. That's what he sounds like. He's selling me some shit right now. Yeah. That's bullshit. I don't give a fuck if Tyreek Hill's got 3,000 kids locked up with a women going crazy. If he can still play football and he can win games, that's what I care about. All this other distraction shit is bullshit. I get it. There's work environment stuff,
right?
But damn.
You know, he just outed himself as a hypocrite, right? He just
the whole thing is hypocritical. He wants to hold this guy accountable. Who's holding him accountable?
Hold on a second. Think about what he just said. You know, in the locker room, that's where the nitty gritty. We work on each other and we have the hard conversations.
But here I am in the public talking about it.
Why are you talking to the press about beef that you supposedly have with him?
You know what it reminds me of?
It's because the press is trying to keep it going.
It reminds me of Russell Wilson.
Tua's more than happy to help.
Then Tom,
it's stupid on both sides. It's stupid on fucking both sides. That's what I said. If someone came up to me with a question about some shit from a year ago, I'd be like, man, we're trying to fucking move forward. We ain't got time for that shit.
Yeah, why doesn't he just answer that way? Why doesn't he just say, look, I got to move forward. I don't have time for this crap.
He wants to keep the shit going too.
That's why I think the whole thing is fake, bro. That's why I think the whole thing is
fake. What were you going to say, Joe? Hold on. What were you going to say, Joe?
It feels like Russell Wilson. It feels like Russell Wilson. You know how every interview, every time he's on camera, he's trying to turn it into like a Disney movie kind of thing. I think Tua was trying to be like a little too cerebral about all this. And to be honest, it sounds like Mike McDaniel's rubbing off on him.
It's like we don't need to know philosophy.
I can agree with that.
You know, we don't need to know philosophy from Tua. We just need to know, it's like stuff. I've been talking about these types of questions for a long time now on here. It's stupid fucking questions that people ask. It's ridiculous. It just keeps storylines going just to keep shit fucking chaotic.
They know bad press though, baby.
No, but you know what? The piggyback on what Joe Russ was saying. Sound like I said, Tua is doing the same thing that McDaniel is doing. He's trying to show the NFL and the world that I can be tough, that I can switch up from being what I was in the past to being a tough guy, to being a leader.
It's like you can't, but
and it's too late to do that.
You can't be
that's not true.
An NFL player. You can't be an NFL player.
Can you bring that back up? That comment? That wasn't true. That's not true at all. Tyreek literally had an interview the day before Tua did, and he mentioned all of that.
Yep.
Literally the day before. I think the last 5 words or last sentence of his interview was, "I got to do better for my teammates." So he has talked about it. Tua's business. It's not like Tua should have shrugged that off. If you really wanted to open up about it, spend 10 seconds on it and move on. That's what Tua spent maybe 3 minutes answering that question, which is crazy. Out of like a 12-minute interview, for 3 minutes of it to be on that, it's crazy.
It's fucking wild.
I think he was trying to like prove himself as like the one in control.
Yeah, but you know what else it is?
When Tyreek comes out and plays well, and he has no flaws and no off-field stuff, and he's this new reborn man, they're gonna credit it with Tua.
Maybe.
Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, if you're being a positive role model on somebody, that should be awarded.
From that Tyreek interview, though, to me,
he's gonna need. Listen, Tyreek's gonna need that squeaky clean look. Tyreek Hill's gonna need that squeaky clean look because his resume might need to be out there next year. You know what I'm saying?
It will be.
The rebuilding.
If you listen to his interview, he spent like 8 minutes talking about how it needs to be focused on this year and about his kids and about what's best for him and his kids. And he almost said it like a little too much. To where
that's patronizing as shit, bro.
Is he getting ready to move next year? I mean, the writing's probably on the wall for him.
Also,
right, Joe, and he's trying to project to the rest of the league, I'm in control here.
Yeah. That's what I think is worth digging into, not as much the Tua thing. I think Tyreek knows he's on it. That's why the 2,000 yards is going to be that important.
We all think that, to be honest. But ultimately, for me, it's more of like, I can't take Tua seriously with this shit because he should have been like this day one. That's really
it should have been like this in February, January.
Yeah, I'm talking about day one when he became a quarterback. He was never like this. He never put out shit like this.
It's not his nature, Ali. It's not his nature.
Yeah.
That's how we know it's contrived. It's just like the scorpion and the frog, bro. That's it's his nature.
Well, I mean, you do got to allow someone the room to grow and to turn
But
the
not
corner
if
on
it's his
something
nature,
like that. You
Joe.
do have
There's
to
no
give them the
growth.
space to do that.
But Joe, if it's his nature, there's no way to grow. That's like saying allowing the scorpion
that's
to
unfair
grow.
to say that he's not able to develop and
No,
to
I'm not
lead.
saying
just
he's
by
not
saying
able to
by a
develop.
first
I'm
impression.
not saying that.
And I'm
I'm
sorry
not
about
saying
that.
that. What I'm saying is the ability to
Like
assert.
if he is that way, Color, we shouldn't be drafting players like that. Like we shouldn't be drafting them if they're not a
That's
leader.
fair. That's fair to say. I'm just saying that, there are things that I'm not saying he can't develop or grow in plenty of other ways. I'm just saying that if it is your nature to not be an assertive leader like that, you can't just contrive it. A scorpion can never convince anybody he's not going to sting them.
I see what you're saying. I just think some people, it may take a little bit of time for them to come out of their shell and
I got that too. But when you're talking about supposedly, I mean, most athletes are usually fairly alpha males, especially the 1,600 and whatever that make it to the NFL. 5 years is a long time.
Yeah, I lose interest as soon as people start bringing up the whole alpha beta thing. I throw the conversation out the door because it's mostly bullshit.
No, I meant I just meaning that they're all alphas.
So yeah, I hear what you're saying.
So what I'm saying is we can garner the truth about a player's nature after 5 seasons, dude.
So thank you, Craig Sebring, for the $5.
You're right, Color. After 5,
and it's because they're all alphas that we know that.
You guys,
I think you're not going to know.
Ali, sorry about that.
Go ahead, Craig.
I think some of you can't hear me. Not all of you, but some of you, I think, can't hear me.
It just cuts out when other audio comes in, dude.
Craig Sebring donated $5. My dad told me a long time ago, if you try to be someone you're not, then you're nothing. Well, my dad a long time ago said, when you want to become a man, you don't need to tell people you're a man. You are the man on your own.
Exactly.
And I'm sorry, but I agree with Color. 5 years is a super long ass time. And I'm sorry, but if you think about it, each year we've complained about something about Tua. He's worked on it. What was everybody complaining about this year? Accountability, leadership. Guess what? He worked on it, and this is what we get. And that's why I don't think this is natural. And I don't respect it because it's not organic or natural.
So if that's the case, how would you want him to address what we have an issue with this offseason? How does he do that in the appropriate way then?
Then you do it on the field where everybody wants you to do it. I want to see him on the sideline yelling at players like, why the fuck were you not here
but not
on
for
my
the
first
sake of
throw?
just doing it, though. But
right?
not just for the sake of doing it.
I want to see him on the field corralling the troops when things aren't working.
Right.
Hey man, I need become the team's cheerleader at
But
some
Ali,
point.
not just for the sake of doing it, though. For instance, Joe, when the hot mic with Waddle, are you done, bro? Yeah. Where's Tua to say, what the fuck do you mean you're done?
You know what I want to see, and I thank you. Thank you for Brad for donating.
I don't know.
earlier.
I'm just saying though. Like,
I mean, that was a bench game for him, wasn't it?
You know what I want to see? I want to see Tua, who seemed to be able to stand and jog on the sideline when he was sitting there watching his team play. I wanted to see him actually play the last 2 games of the season when it mattered, because he said it himself. Hold on. He said it himself that if the team needed me in the biggest moment, I'd be there. And guess what? He wasn't there, right? Yeah. So why don't we go after him for quitting on the team 2 games early?
Well, that's what we're talking about earlier when Lewis brought up the idea
because it was injury.
Right, but when Lewis brought up the idea that you quitting on the other guys that are still on the field, does that include the backup quarterback? I mean,
hey, look at this. The quarterback of Indiana, I can't think of his name, who got drafted this year, played an entire
Curtis Rourke.
Rourke played an entire season on a torn ACL. I want you to know that. An entire season on a torn ACL. And guess what? His team didn't do so bad. They actually,
great program. I can't wait to be talking about them.
And if quitting on the team included the backup quarterback, then where was everybody for Syler in that Buffalo game?
I agree.
Exactly. I agree.
That's a locker room issue too. But
so let's take it off of Tua. And like just like Lewis says, would we be scolding other people for the same thing? Yes. Where was everybody for Syler in that playoff game that we lost by 3? Where Waddle dropped the ball 3 times.
With his comment,
Tyreek dropped an important pass once. Gesicki dropped an important pass too. Where were they?
Yeah. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that.
I haven't heard Gesicki's name in a while.
There's better ways than sit here and start
Where
talking
was
about
Waddle
a
when he
man's
fumbled the
family
ball
than,
after Teddy Bridgewater threw for 329 yards in 2.5 quarters?
Yeah, I think I'm in agreement with everyone. He shouldn't have answered the way he answered in that interview. If he really wanted to get something out there so people didn't think he was just ducking the question, he could have done it in like a 5 to 10 second answer format.
Let me ask you this, Joe. All right. Everyone is saying that this is the beef because he quit on the team, right? That's what everybody's saying. What does what happened between Tyreek and his family have to do with that game?
I think Tyreek's been the one that's introduced that. He's likely has been bringing that up to his teammates as well as a big motivator for him. Just because the interview the previous day was a huge subject.
To patronize him about
that's why I think Tua felt the comfort to even mention like his family in that, because otherwise that would have been
the public.
That's like that. Like, why are you even bringing up someone else's family? That's
how would you ever feel comfortable enough to bring that up to the public, dude?
Right. That's what makes me think it was something that Tyreek was like bringing to the table like a lot and a big talking point for him, because otherwise it doesn't make sense. Like I don't think Tua's that kind of guy that's going to go like at someone like into someone's personal life like that.
Bro,
maybe. I mean, I know some people think like
Tyreek authorized him to go there.
That type of guy. Tua's the type of guy to save his own ass
but look,
all day long.
No, but it's fair. If your opinion is that this whole thing is contrived, then Tyreek may have given him the authorization to go there. Like, hey, just tell him I'm going through things with my family and or whatever.
I don't think it was direct authorization. I think it's just something.
But I get what you're saying though. If the whole thing is fake, then he could have very well just felt comfortable, going there, because
I just can't take
gloves are off if you're faking it. You know what I mean? Like.
Someone did make a good point the other day that
Tyreek's
going through a lot with his family this offseason. So there is like that as well. Like there's a lot going on that Tua might be aware of.
I'll tell you this, right? You're right. That might be a thing, but it's not the first time he's gone through stuff like that during a season.
Right.
But at camp, Tyreek did look like he's in some good shape. And he did look much faster. He looked much faster at
smaller,
camp
right?
Last year.
You could say through the butterfly effect that Tyreek Hill caused his own issue that day, that week. Okay, fine. Through the butterfly effect, maybe. But it does. I think we're underestimating how it psychologically affects a person to be violated that way, bro. I mean, let's be real here, bro. I'm not talking about being a whining little bitch or nothing, okay? But unless you've been treated your whole life by the cops that way and just condescended to constantly by law enforcement, you have no idea how it feels. It's just like the saying goes, back the blue until it happens to you. And you just don't understand how it feels to be violated like that as an American.
Are you talking about his arrest in front of the stadium?
You grow up being told your whole life how special it is to have your rights as an American. And these assholes just rip you out of your car and violate your Fourth Amendment right like it's nothing. All
I don't
because
remember
they
the
were
details.
upset with how you exercised your First Amendment right and how you exercised your Fifth Amendment right. They take offense to that and rip you out of your car for a speeding violation.
Did he take legal action?
Yeah, well, and we haven't gotten any update on it. When the guy's got a booklet in his freaking car with carbon copies all so he can write a ticket for the damn speeding and pass it through the window, okay, where Florida law allows you to crack it just enough for you to interact and give your paperwork to the cop. That's
But
right. That's
color
what Florida law
isn't if you're going a certain speed over, isn't it like warrant for well, not like a warrant, but like doesn't that can't that equal an arrest rather than a ticket?
Somebody out of their vehicle for safety reasons.
But if they're going like an atrocious speed over, is that
about safety reasons? Ripping somebody
like
out and throwing them on the traffic street is not safe. So they can't turn around and say they pulled him out of his car for safety reasons.
What did they say that they did it for?
Because
like, what was the apparent reason for
down.
escalation?
Because he refused to roll his window down further than he did. The cop took offense to it.
So what? He like cracked it just to be able to speak, and then they.
And the cop took.
So what did they do? Did they break open his? They break his window or something, or?
Well, he was tapping on his window with the stick, if I'm not mistaken.
The cop can argue that that pulling him out of his vehicle was a lawful detainment under a court ruling. Okay, there is precedent under the reason of safety. If they have a lawful stop, which they did because they stopped him for speeding, they can order you. It is a lawful order to order you out of your vehicle if they have already lawfully stopped you. Okay, for safety reasons. But how can they demonstrate that it was for safety reasons if they ripped him out of his vehicle and threw him into the street where cars are running by?
How did they rip him out of the vehicle, though? Did they just like open the door and undo his seatbelt and pull him, or did he didn't have it locked?
He was starting to get out. They opened the door. He was starting to get. I don't remember. He might have opened the door, but he was starting to get out. They grabbed him by the arm and threw him down to the ground.
So he wasn't.
They threw him into the street. So if you're talking about,
he was just honest, like simply opening his door, and they grabbed him and ripped him.
Difficult, like he was asking why. He was exercising his First Amendment right to.
Was he doing any like motions with his arms or anything that would have been?
And when they started to command more aggressively and reach into him, he did start to get out of the vehicle. And they continued to pull his arm and rip him out, dude. And here's the thing. The lawful order that I was talking about for safety reasons is for officer safety. Okay? Yeah. So if they have you on a lawful stop, they can lawfully order you out of the vehicle for officer safety. How are they going to claim officer safety when they threw him into the street and now we're on top of him, all four of them, in the middle of the street?
The reason I was asking about the speed, though, is like if you're going a great enough speed, can't that just be an automatic arrest, which therefore you'd need to get out of the vehicle anyway?
The problem was that the cop themselves could tell he was speeding, but they didn't have a definitive radar.
It doesn't matter anyway. The cop didn't articulate that. The cop didn't articulate that. The cop told him he had to get out of the vehicle because he wouldn't roll his window down.
Yes, that's what they were getting him
for. I've got you for felony or for reckless driving. Step out of the vehicle, and that would have been different.
Just so you know, there's no law that says that when you've gotten pulled over that you have to keep your window down. By the way,
there's none. In Florida,
there's none in Florida whatsoever.
Matter of fact, you don't even have to hand them your driver's license. The law says you have to present.
How does that work, though? Like, if you get pulled over, you could just leave your windows closed and ignore them until they go away, or what?
No, Joe, because the law doesn't say you have to give them your driver's license. It says you have to present it to them. Yes. So you can hold it up to the window for them clearly to see. That is presenting your driver's license to them.
By the way, I feel like this is massively petty, all of this. I would never like just crack my window and be like, fuck you, by the way.
They have
But
no right to violate your rights because they take your pettiness personally.
I mean, just fucking talk to them like they're doing their job and not drive like an asshole, to be honest.
You have a First Amendment right to be petty.
Yes, that is your First Amendment right. But here's the other thing. Let's also not forget.
What's that statement you like to make, Color, though? Just because you have the right to doesn't mean you have...
These days I will. These days, the way they conduct themselves.
What is your famous statement, though?
Because they are a public servant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They don't need to be talking to people the way they do anyway.
Oh, yeah. I agree. It shouldn't be a power dynamic.
So
it should be law enforcement and protection. It shouldn't be a power dynamic.
When they start to manipulate the law to get you on something, they're the ones starting the pettiness.
Let's also not forget, plain as day on video, there's video of a cop kicking Tyreek for no damn reason. I'm just going to point that
out of his vehicle and punched him 14 times.
And that's why the charges were dropped
out of his vehicle and punched him 14 times because his headlights weren't on.
So what was the charge? Resisting or
no? They got him for what was it?
Reckless.
Reckless driving is what they got him for, right?
So basically, that went away because they improperly arrested him.
Had of the wrong
over 30 miles an hour.
They stopped him. I got it right in front. They stopped him for because he was speeding 20 miles over the speed limit.
And they say 200. If he was going 200 miles an hour, they would have never caught up to him. They would have never had a chance to.
He would have been gone. That's the point.
Why do you think they let motorcycles go? Because they know they can't catch up to them.
Yep.
A Ducati will fly by at 150 miles an hour. They don't even bother pulling out.
Yeah, I mean, look, the reality is, yeah, he shouldn't have been speeding. I get it, but I'll be the first one to admit that we all speed, even in that area.
I'm not saying that, that based on what we know about how law enforcement is, that through the butterfly effect, Tyreek Hill didn't cause his own problem. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is it's a tragedy in this country that a person can cause their own problem like that. And that is law enforcement's fault, not Tyreek's. And I want to, again,
I don't know
it's
about
scope,
that.
Joe. It is scope, okay? They're out there right now arguing why these cops had a good reason to pull this kid out of his vehicle and punch him 14 times. Instead of, why did you even want to pull him out of his vehicle for his headlight being off? Why did you even want to pull him out of his vehicle?
Is that what they wait? Is this Tyreek or are you talking about someone else?
No, I'm talking about the most recent case in Jacksonville, where they pull it
where they punched through the glass
14 times because he didn't have his headlights on.
Something's missing in that story, but I agree. Like there's like the force is excessive very often.
They would be charging him with something besides not having his headlights on during inclement weather.
There's got to be something else that they just freaked out and started attacking the guy.
Where is the charge for that something other? They haven't charged
That's
him.
That's what I'm trying to find out, though. Like, Color, I get you're very passionate about this, but at the same time, like I'm having a hard time getting like direct details out of you. They're all very slanted.
Let me explain the situation that happened with me.
Everything that they have charged him with happened after they unlawfully ordered him out of his vehicle.
Joe,
why were they ordering him out of the vehicle? That's what I'm trying to get to.
For the headlights being off.
But that's why they wanted him to get out of the vehicle because his headlights weren't working. His
headlights were off in inclement weather. They couldn't just write him the ticket and pass it through the window.
But I'm trying to see how it gets escalated from A to B. Like, that doesn't make any sense. They approached the car and said, hey, your headlights are out. Get out of the vehicle.
They dream up that you have to be doing something wrong, and it is their job to find out
You're not even answering the question I'm asking. I'm trying to say, like, if they approach you and say your headlights are out,
know how to answer it when they're not.
Do they go straight to get out of the car? What made them say get out of the car is what I'm trying to ask. Like, it wasn't that his headlights were out.
He asked them why he needed to.
to get out of the car?
No,
you're clearly missing what I'm asking here. Can someone else answer?
Joe Rist, what he, okay, let me explain. He rolled up his window after he provided the appropriate documents, driver's license, insurance, he provided that. He didn't fight that. And then he rolled up his windows. As soon as he rolled up his windows, the cop looks back and starts going like this on, really hard on the window, and was already angry about something, right? And
maybe fear that the closed window could be like
to prove that we're not allowed to roll our fucking window up.
And he just told the cop, just do it. Please let me finish, Color. He told the cop, just do what you got to do. I'm not fighting you. If you write me my ticket, whatever. And the guy gets, oh, you want to get lippy? And next thing you know, he's getting yanked out the vehicle, right? Slammed on the ground. And then there's video of him getting kicked by police, right? For no reason. He's just standing there in handcuffs like this on the sidewalk. And there you can see the cop just blankly side kicking him like this.
So basically because he challenged the authority is what they freaked out about.
Because he invoked his rights. It's not challenging the authority. They didn't have the authority.
They didn't give him any explanation.
I'm not saying that's like an official reason. I'm trying to get asked what the motivation was behind the cops doing that.
He challenged their authority in their minds. Yes, and they believe they have the authority to tell you.
That's what I was trying to get to when I was asking why did they pull him out of the car? It wasn't because of the headlights. It was because of the window thing. That's what I was trying to figure out. How do you get from A to B
for no reason? They don't have the right to do that.
Yeah, so it was like I was saying, this is a power dynamic thing. They don't like their authority challenged, so they escalate it.
Of course.
And that's the issue.
And what they do is they say, okay, well, I can find a reason where it's lawful for me to have pulled him out of the vehicle, right?
Yeah.
Even if none of that applies to the situation, it doesn't matter. So, for instance, in Tyreek's case, I believe it's Pennsylvania versus Mims that allows them to pull you out of your vehicle for officer safety reasons if they already have you pulled over for a lawful reason, okay? And they have to articulate that reason.
Right, I was going to say, if you are pulled over to where you're going to be arrested, they have to articulate that before removing you.
Right, and well, even if they're pulling you out for officer safety, it has to first be a lawful stop for them to be allowed to do that.
Which a speeding of apparent whatever he was
had
not
lawful.
Yes,
in Tyreek's case, it was they could have lawfully ordered him out of the car for officer.
But they didn't do it properly.
Reasons. But that's not what they articulated the reason for him to get out of the car. And secondly, they threw him into the street where they proceeded to pounce on him in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
Who's officer safety?
My question is, how does that just equal dropping the charge for reckless driving?
Like,
shouldn't Tyreek be in a winning
order
position
him out of the vehicle, Joe? It's
no. I'm saying, Color, let me finish. I'm saying, shouldn't Tyreek be in a position to where he can get a big bag because they used excessive force? That's like way greater than a reckless driving charge.
Not if the judge or the jury agrees that, semantics aside, they're allowed to order him out of the vehicle the way they did.
So
backing the police in a corrupt way.
So what Tyreek did, because they did file a complaint, just so you're aware, right?
Yeah.
There was a little bit of a lawsuit.
I remember that.
Tyreek said that he's not out for money or clout with the police at all. He likes what they do, right? He just wanted the situation to be handled much better in the future. So he wanted to hold those people accountable for that.
Right. And keep in mind also, Joe, that when the officer pulled him out,
very
you can
mature
hear
route,
the audio from the body cam. The officer is literally yelling at Tyreek, telling him that the reason he did that is to show him the force that he is allowed to put on him. Listen to what the guy's yelling at
hear what
him.
you're saying.
He's not saying, I can pull you out for my safety. You should have listened to me. He's not saying none of that.
Yeah.
Man, we're getting a lot of randos
He's
today.
He's literally telling you, you disobeyed me, and this is why this is happening to you.
Yeah. I get it. I mean, you see that in governments, you see that in police, you see that in any really position where someone has a quote unquote authority in some sort of an environment, that power dynamic is just like a human element.
Well,
and
actually,
people
where
have
you
abused
see it
for
is
years.
where you see it, Joe, is police states.
Yeah,
that's where you see it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
and when you've got more than half the public in society wagging their fingers saying, but I come back and say he had his headlights off in a drizzling day.
Anyway, well, if it's raining, technically you do have to have your headlights on, but that's not anything to escalate more than a ticket.
On both sides of this issue, Joe, not one person on either side has
That's not even
looked up the
ticketable, in
word
my opinion.
inclement.
Like, if
None
anything,
of
you
them
pull
have-
the person over and be like, hey,
Joe,
keep your lights on, and you
Joe,
go about it.
nobody on either side of the issue has actually looked up the word inclement. So raining or not, it was not inclement weather.
Well, the point of a light is if visibility is reduced, and
Well,
it is reduced in
does say
rain.
whenever it's
Like,
raining.
that's why
but
you
it-
see cars' lights automatically coming on a rainy day, is because
Right.
the
It
visibility
says-
has been
it
reduced.
says raining, fog, or smoke. Neither
Right.
of which were happening. The car was wet, but that doesn't mean it was raining.
That's true. It could have driven through a sprinkler for all we know.
Well, to me, what that sounds like is they were trying to pull people over to give those bullshit tickets to make their quotas, right? And then they found a way, like they found something that pissed them off, and they escalated it in a way that should have never happened.
The headlights being out was the avenue for them to be able to lawfully order him out of the vehicle.
Mm-hmm. All right, John.
And then when he even questioned why, they yanked him out and punched him.
Yeah.
That's unacceptable, bro.
And
I'm
100%
sorry, it's unacceptable.
It is unacceptable. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hit the like button. All right. Subscribe if you're new. Turn on the notification bell. I appreciate everybody. We have over 162 people watching on all fronts. We really appreciate everybody here. Thank you for everybody donating. I appreciate everyone hanging out with us here at Club XL. We've gone for about 3.5 hours. Next Saturday, we may be right back here. I'm going to be at training camp at Members Day, so maybe I'll have a lot more to talk about coming back from that. But thank you all. And with that, if you're checking out TFTGnetwork.com, we got some amazing merch there. T-shirts, hats. We got something for everybody. We got cookware, and you name it, we got it. Check out TFTGnetwork.com. Check this out. Again, check out TFTG Network. I appreciate all of you. With that, we'll see you guys next week. And my final bottom line is defense looks good. Offense looks good. Offensive line, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens there. That's where I'm at with it. But with that, fins up, everybody.
Peace out.